Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2022 Southeast of Saline Homecoming Coronation Ceremony. This year's theme is Masquerade. So tonight I'm going to introduce you to our candidates. All the candidates have chosen the 3 activities that have meant the most to them during their high school years.
Tonight's first queen candidate is Kieran Douglas, daughter of Tyson and Shelby Douglas. Kieran is involved in many school activities, including track, National Honor Society, and singing. Kieran is escorted tonight by Drake Augustine, the son of Jason and Jamie Augustine. Drake is president of National Honor Society and vice president of Student Council. He is also a 3-sport athlete.
Our next candidate for Queen is Carly Comerford. She is the daughter of Ryan and Amy Comerford. Carly runs cross country, plays softball, and is a member of National Honor Society. Nakari Moracle Palmer, the son of Elizabeth Moracle and Neville Palmer, is escorting Carly. Nakari lists as his top 3 activities basketball, running in cross country and track, and National Honor Society.
This year's FCCOA chapter president, Ava McGinnis, is our next candidate. Ava is also a cheerleader and holds multiple roles in student council. She is the daughter of Brent and Brandy McGinnis. Landon Allen is escorting Ava. He is a son of Jim and Adrian Allen. Landon is proud of his time on the football and baseball teams, as well as being vice president of National Honor Society.
Kyler Boley is the daughter of Rex and Carrie Boley. She has been involved with madrigals and all the musicals, National Honor Society, and volleyball during her time at SES. Kyler's escort is Jake Gebhardt, son of Mitch and Angie Gebhardt. One of Jake's proudest achievements is being named All-League wide receiver and defensive back. He is a 3-sport athlete and National Honor Society member as well.
Our final candidate tonight is Avery Castleman, daughter of Elizabeth Castleman and Cade Castleman. Avery is involved in multiple high school clubs, 2 sports, and National Honor Society. Luke Gebhardt is escorting Avery. He is the son of Mitch and Angie Gebhardt. Luke is in FFA, National Honor Society, and is in his 4th year of being a 3-sport athlete.
Accompanying our crown bearer and football bearer is last year's homecoming queen, Carson Slavesner. Carson is currently attending the University of Kansas in Lawrence. Dylan Sprecher, last year's king, has a cross-country meet and is unable to be with us. We wish him well at Pittsburgh State, where he is attending.
This year's crown bearer is Blakely Smith, daughter of Tyler and Shauna Smith. She is a 1st grader in Mrs. Perry's class.
This year's football bearer is Mason Schoenfeld, son of Scott and Alicia Schoenfeld. He is in Mrs. Harris's 1st grade.
We'd like to remind everyone that the homecoming dance will be tomorrow night at 8 p.m. It will end at 10 p.m. The cost is $3 per person if wearing a mask and $5 per person if not wearing a mask. Before we reveal this year's homecoming king and queen, we'd like to congratulate all the candidates and thank Blakely and Mason for participating in the coronation ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, this year's homecoming king is Luke Gebhardt. And this year's homecoming queen is Ava McGinnis. Congratulations. You may take pictures on the northwest end of the football field, but be quick since the football players need to get back to the game.
Wasn't it? I mean, he had 24 carries, but goes over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns there. Nathan Friesen was very effective in the running game as well. Michael Murray got more carries in the running game. Talk about that.
You know, and they were just a little bit to our motion with Michael, which if you don't, we're going to give him the ball all night long.
Yeah.
He's going to make yards for us. So we ran him on fly sweep. I think we wore him out fly sweep or fake fly sweep during that game. But they were just a little bit to that, and we saw they were moving a little bit. And when they'd move, we'd try to hit in behind him. So, you know, I felt like that was a good thing for us to do. And, you know, Michael did run the ball a little more and did a good job with it. And Luke did a good job of running the football instead of Nathan. And, again, that starts up front with our guys up front. They were blocking well, and we were finding holes and getting yards.
Big receiving nights again by your top 4 receivers, Landon Allen, Michael Murray, Jake Gebhardt, and Tucker Thaxton. As we make the transition from offense to defense here and talk about the defensive side of the ball, I know the concern is turnovers, and you never want to turn the ball over. But right now, when you look at both sides of the ball, is that a concern? Because the turnovers are happening a little bit more on offense than what they have in the past, but you're also not getting the takeaways on defense. Right now, you're -4 in turnover differential for the season.
It is, and it's something we talked about. It's funny you bring that up because we talked about this week, that our defense just hasn't come up with the turnovers that we have in the past, and we're going to emphasize that a little bit more. Hopefully we can come up with some of those and continue to do that. But we've turned the ball over a little bit more on offense, and we haven't got as many takeaways. So that's something we're going to work on. Obviously, we still want to make sure we're doing a good job on defense. I don't want to take away from that. We're doing a good job of keeping guys out of the end zone, and we're not giving up very many yards and things like that. So we want to make sure we're getting the tackles and making them punt or turnover on downs or whatever. But it'd be nice to get a turnover from somebody.
Yeah. Total yards for Clay Center. Anytime you give up 134 yards, your defense is playing pretty well. We can talk about the linebacking core all day long and even some of the defensive guys in the secondary. But when you look at your defensive line, Josiah Monday, Trevor Keller, Slade Johnson, those guys up front, man, they just kind of turned the wick up in the second half. They really had an impact on this game.
They really did, you know, and it may not show up completely in the tackles that they got. I think Josiah had several tackles, but the other 2 guys didn't get maybe quite as many tackles, but they did such a good job of eating up blocks so that our backers could go make tackles and just disrupting what they wanted to do. The Clay Center runs a very disciplined offense, and you have to be in the right spot, so they're gonna get big chunks of yards. And I thought, especially second half, I thought our kids did a good job in the first half, but I thought especially second half that D-line played awful well.
Look at the special teams. We often talk about big plays and things like that, but I want to focus a little bit this week on your kicker, Wyatt Boyd. It seems like most of the time you can kind of tell him where to put the ball, and it's situational kicking. We talked about that a little bit in the previous weeks. How big of a weapon is he when you have somebody like that?
You know, it's real important. We talk about it. We start early on, you know, in practice of kicking it where their fast guys aren't or their good return guys aren't or in a space or whatever. Wyatt kind of takes pride in trying to get it to where it's supposed to be. Well, I thought we did a better job. You know, Halstead, we didn't do as good a job of tackling as we probably should have on the kickoff team, and I thought we did a much better job of where we were at and making the tackles against Clay Center. I mean, I felt like our special teams did a pretty good job, you know, as a whole against Clay Center.
26-14, the final score. Southeast of Saline defends their home field, just their second home game of the season. They go to 5-0 overall out of district. Now you'll step back into district play this week. And before we talk about that, Coach, I do want to talk a little bit and just get your thoughts. about the Andale-Nickerson score from last week, because when you look online, this is kind of something that's caught fire. And, of course, people that weren't there have opinions about it that are probably not very accurate. This game, for people that don't know, and I don't know how you don't, but Andale scores over 100 points, and Nickerson does not score. And this was a game that got out of hand really, really quick. And I'm thinking back specifically to a game at Ellsworth last year where it just seemed like every bounce of the football went your way. And this could have been one of those games very easily. And I don't know that people remember how that game went, but what are your thoughts about that score? And as you're seeing things and hearing what people say?
Well, I thought the Nickerson coach did a great job. He tweeted out, I saw that, hey, they subbed down real fast. Their starters didn't play any at all in the second half, and a lot of them didn't play in the part of the second quarter. And their JV kids and their younger kids did an outstanding job of executing. When that happens, I don't think there's a coach that coaches high school football that wants to score 108 points against somebody.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of situations that can happen. We've had games where the ball's rolled our way, and we've scored more points than I thought we were going to several times. It was a matchup that just kind of happened, and from what I've heard, that they subbed down, they did those type of things, and the score just continued to get out of hand.
At the end of the day, you can't ask kids not to play hard no matter who's on the field, right?
That's 100% right, yes. I agree with that 100%.
So we stepped out of district play, had a chance to play a very good Clay Center team, stepping up to Class 3A once again. Now we're back in district play, and you have a few games here left in district before the end of the season where you're going to play Hillsboro tonight, you play Lions next week, and then you end up with right now what is an undefeated Ellsworth team. When you look around the district, I think everybody's chasing southeast of Saline. We can agree upon that. How do you see this district playing out, though?
I think we got a really good district. I think Halstead's a very good football team.
Yeah.
We went down there and played pretty well. We gave a few more points than we wanted to at Halstead. I think Halstead's a very good football team. We have Hillsboro this week, and that's who we're focused on right now. And they do some things pretty well. We're going to have to play pretty well against them to come out with a victory. We're excited to play them. And I think as we progress through, we'll just kind of see how things play out. We've got to continue to work on ourselves and continue to get better because we know that all those teams are going to play good football.
How'd your week of preparation go?
We had a pretty good week of practice. Tuesdays and Wednesdays have been rough the last few weeks, and I think we had a good practice on Wednesday. I'm awful excited about that. I think we're kind of getting there. We aren't there by a long way. So things are a little more smooth this week, and so I'm excited about that.
I feel like the weather's been trying to get gradually cooler, especially when the sun goes down. But tonight, for the first time, we're going to see weather that we may not hit 60 degrees all day today. Does this change players' mentality a little bit? Is there a little more pep in the step that comes up? Is it mentally a kind of a game changer when you get to this time of year?
And we talk about we can't control what the weather is. And, when it's 95 degrees out, the humidity's up a little bit. We still have to practice and we still have to do things correctly. But I honestly think when fall begins to hit and it is cooler at practices and things like that, I think the kids do get more pep. Probably the old coaches do too.
Yeah.
It's not quite, the sun's not quite bearing down on you quite so much and things like that. So I think the weather does play a little bit of a difference in how you approach things and maybe a little more excited about things and things like that. But we talk to our kids. It's going to be, we've had years where it's 105 one day and it's 4 or 5 weeks later it's 35 degrees.
Yeah.
We just got to prepare for whatever happens there.
Other than turnover differential, decreasing your turnovers while getting the ball more when you're on defense and on special teams, what's your focus tonight against Hillsboro?
And I think that's a huge thing right there. We need to really focus on not turning the ball over, us getting some turnovers if we can. But we've got to do what we do. We've got to continue to get better. And doing what we do, we got to move the football. We got to go quick on offense, and then we got to shut down what they want to do on offense and take away any big plays and get them out so our offense can get on the field.
Mitch Gebhardt, head coach of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. His guys tonight taking on Hillsboro at homecoming. Coach, best of luck. We'll talk to you at halftime.
All right, thank you.
Back with more Trojan pregame after this on KINA.
It's third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
You're telling me your driver turns you on remotely?
It feels so good.
One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor's running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
This has been Countdown to Kickoff. The opening kick is right around the corner.
It's about to get ugly.
Back to the stadium we go for Trojan football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back to the campus of Southeast Saline High School, Steve Fritz Field, as the Southeast Saline Trojans are hosting the Hillsboro Trojans here tonight. Southeast Saline comes into this game 5-0, 1-0 in district play. Hillsboro comes in 1-4, 0-2 in district play. Southeast last week took on Clay Center as they defeated the Tigers 26-14 here on the campus of Southeast Saline. Hillsboro last week took a loss to Halstead 55-21. The last meeting between these two teams came way back a little ways. October 26th, 2017. And the Trojans of Southeast won that game 52-0. Since that game, Southeast of Saline is on a pretty good run right now, 42 wins, 7 losses, as we bring in Devin Haney here.
Yeah, it's you can talk about all kinds of superlatives and landmarks when you're going through Southeast of Saline, but, since the beginning of 2020, this Southeast of Saline team is 25-2. Just those 2 losses that they have in there are to Wichita Collegiate and Andale. We all know about Andale. They haven't lost since then. Well, those 2 teams are going to hook up tonight. They went through a cycle a couple of years ago where they were in the same district and they played each other. They're going to play each other again tonight. Andale comes in number 1. Wichita Collegiate comes in number 2 in Class 3A. They're going to square off tonight in Wichita in a very, very big district game. Also, more interesting games in the state. In Class 6A, number 1 Manhattan is in that beautiful new stadium west of Junction City at the new Junction City High School. Indians and Blue Jays will go against each other tonight. That is always a matchup where you can throw the records out and go, this is going to be a great game. Manhattan comes in number 1 in 6A. Junction City has 1 loss. They are number 5 in 6A. Go to 5A tonight. Number 2, Mays, is at number 2, Derby. That's number 2 in Class 5A in Mays, number 2 in Class 6A in the Derby Panthers. In Class 4A, the number 3 ranked team, St. Thomas Aquinas, will take on the number 1 ranked team, the Bishop Miege Stags. All kinds of matchups to watch tonight, and we will do that on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Other area schools, Andover Central is at Salina Central. That's 2 3-2 schools. That game can be a very pivotal game. Salina South is at Newton. Abilene is at Circle. Abilene's at 3-2. Circle at 4-1. That'll be an interesting game to watch. Chapman is at Wichita Trinity. Sacred Heart is at Wabaunsee. Wabaunsee very good in Class 1A. They only have 1 loss this year. El Saline is at Clifton Clyde. Moundridge is at Solomon. And Bennington is at Rock Hills. We'll keep an eye on all those games for you tonight along the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Weather? Well, what you see is what you get. What it is right now is what it's going to be like at the end of the game. 46 degrees, a 20% chance of rain. That chance of rain will diminish through the next couple of hours. Slight to no breeze out of the northwest. It'll be the same at 10 o'clock as we're all leaving the stadium. Russ Castle, now your new image, keys to success tonight for Southeast of Saline.
And I think this one's pretty easy. I think you got to be turnovers. It's got to be, you have to keep the ball in your own possession and not give it away to the other team. Southeast has struggled in that this year on the turnover ratio. Last year we saw them lopsided to the good. This year they're hovering right around even in the bad. Luke Gebhardt had 4 interceptions all year last year. He comes in with 7 interceptions in this game, in just the 6th game of the year. So I think, and you heard Coach Mitch Gebhardt say that, it's turnovers. You asked him, you told him it was turnovers, he agreed with you.
And I had to bring that up too, because what really intrigued me and what made my brain click a little bit, which is difficult to do sometimes, people might look at the offensive turnovers and the interceptions on offense when Southeast of Saline has the ball and they give it up. But what I really looked at was the whole picture and looking at the turnover differential. not only are they turning the ball over more on offense, but they're not getting the ball away from the other team on defense. They're -4 in turnover differential, which means they're not even right now compared to what they've given up and what they've gotten back. That'll be a point of emphasis tonight for these Trojans. They will take on the Trojans from Hillsboro. This is a 9-2 team from a year ago. They went deep into the playoffs in the round of 8 before they lost to Beloit, who went on to the state title game in Class 2A. Hillsboro Trojans trying to get it ready to go here. I don't think the officials ever whistled the ball ready for play.
Clock's just now. They haven't even set the clock yet.
And the clock is what we're waiting on. As you're viewing this live stream video on SalinaPost.com, it is southeast of Saline, purple tops, white pants. Hillsboro comes in, maroon helmets, all white tops and bottoms. And the video is brought to you in part tonight by New Image Audio. I want to thank them for jumping on board and being a proud sponsor of Southeast of Saline football. Back deep for the Trojans, Michael Murray. Also, Luke Gebhardt. Nope, that's Nathan Friesen. Gebhardt is on the sideline, so Nathan Friesen back there. That is, I don't know how you deal with that speed. Friesen and Murray back there together. Might be the first time we've seen that this year. It'll be a short kick. It'll be Wyatt Boyd. He'll take it at the 22-yard line, angle left to the 25, dips his foot in the sandbox, now comes back to the sideline, cuts back again, and ends up at the 35. Nice little return there of 13 yards by Wyatt Boyd. Southeast of Saline starts out with the football, and we are underway. Luke Gebhardt will come out. The senior quarterback will engineer this offense. Last week, Gebhardt, 30 passes, also 24 carries in the rushing game. He had just short of 200 yards passing, 114 yards rushing, and 4 touchdowns. He did throw 2 interceptions. He spread the ball all over the place in the run and the pass game last week in the pistol formation. They go to Friesen, left-hand handoff. Friesen tripped by a linebacker coming through. He will get 5 on the first play. Nathan Friesen, 13 carries, 67 yards last week. Michael Murray had a season high in carries. He had 7 carries for 38 yards. He also had 9 receptions for 70 yards. Landon Allen was the leading receiver last week, 8 receptions, 72 yards, and a touchdown. Here is Murray on the end around. He has to hurdle a Hillsboro Trojan, now looking for space, and he's going to lose 2 yards.
Yeah, and the reason he had to hurdle a Trojan right there is Landon Allen had a great block that just drive right to the ground right there. Friesen on that first play of the game, let's go back and touch on that, averaging 5.9 yards a carry, so right about average where he's at. And how many times do we say tripped up? They never really get a full tackle on him. He gets to the second level, and it's usually a shoestring tackle.
And this Southeast offense, they'll be going against the Hillsboro defense that ranks 7th in the state in passing defense, but they are 35th out of 40 teams in rush defense, and they're also the 29th ranked defense in the state out of 40 teams. Here's the rollout by Gebhardt to the right. Luke's going to go to brother Jake. He will tiptoe out of bounds just after the first down sticks, and it is a successful first down pickup for Southeast of Saline. Out to the 46-yard line. It was a gain of 8 on a 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, Jake's 21st catch on the year, and we'll kind of go over these receivers' catches on the years. They're about balanced all the way down.
From the 46, first down and 10. Gebhardt this time curls, rolls out the opposite way, had Murray and also Landon Allen open, rolling with him from right to left as he was viewing it down the field, and overthrew one of them, if not both of them, incomplete.
Yeah, just out of the outstretched arms of Michael Murray right there. You got receivers with 27 catches, 26 catches, 20 catches. I mean, spreading the ball all over the field.
You can pick a straw on who's going to have the biggest night between about 4 of these guys. 3 of them right now on the left-hand side. They'll go back to Friesen. Little stutter step on the counter play. Friesen into the second level, have a gain of 7 yards. Nice little carry there by Nathan Friesen of 7 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down and 3.
And the main reason these running backs are averaging 5-6 yards a carry is the front 5 up front. We've talked about them all year. Almost all 5 new starters up on the offensive line from last year to this year and doing an excellent job all year.
Southeast into Hillsboro territory at the 47-yard line. 3rd and a long 3. Little bubble screen out to Michael Murray. He has to get around a tackler. He does. Has a first down. Still looking for more inside the 40, inside the 35. Brought down at the 33. And it's a gain of 14 yards by Michael Murray out on the right-hand edge.
And that was a quick pass to the far side of the field. Center Nathan Weller got out and took a block that was about 30 yards away from the play and just drove a guy all the way down the field.
From the 33, it's 1st down and 10 for SES. Working on the opening possession of the game. Luke Gebhardt rolling out to the left. He'll cock it, throw it. Landon Allen, he is right about the 25-yard line before he is ran out of bounds, and that will be a gain of 8.
So far, a flawless drive put together by Southeast marching right down the field. Getting to second and manageable under 5 yards is key for this offense.
About 5 yards away from that Can-Equip red zone. 2nd down and 2 coming up. Here's the snap back to Luke. He's going to fake it, his first run of the day, and he will take a pile of Hillsboro Trojans with him to just outside of the 20-yard line. He'll get 2.5 yards and a first down for Southeast of Saline.
And you and I kind of talking before we went on the air of Luke rushing the ball, and every one of his yards last week were extremely earned as he was facing contact early and often in that game.
First down and 10 from just outside of the 20. We'll call it the 21 for Southeast of Saline. 2 wide receivers go to the right-hand side. Allen and Friesen in tight. Pitch out to Friesen. Friesen looking for some space. Now he finds a crack he likes. He's going to cut it to the outside, get a first down on a gain of 10, 11, 12 more, and that's a first and goal situation coming up for Southeast of Saline.
A great job by Friesen there to get outside and make one cut on the far side, make a defender miss, and get upfield and get the first down.
In the Can-Equip red zone at the 9-yard line is Southeast of Saline. It's first down and goal. 4 wide receivers to the left. Gebhardt starts to roll that way. He gets hit as he throws, finds Landon Allen in the crease, and Allen ahead to the 1-yard line. A gain of 8 for Southeast of Saline. Landon Allen takes it to the 1.
And a great job by Gebhardt right there. Planted. He was on the rollout to the left. Planted that right foot in the ground and got the ball out quick with pressure in his face.
Second goal at the 1-yard line. Southeast of Saline knocking on the door. Pistol formation. Friesen behind Gebhardt. Here's the handoff to Nathan Friesen. He's twisting. He's turning. He's reaching for the goal line, and he is going to come up a football short on a gain of 3/4 of a yard.
Yeah, and a good stop right there by the front 3, really front 5 from Hillsboro, stopping Nathan Friesen at the half-inch yard line.
3rd and a football before Southeast of Saline can put 6 on the board. Everybody looking over to the sideline. They have their call. Now Luke Gebhardt will get them lined up. Friesen on left hip. Landon Allen still in tight. Now Friesen will line up directly behind Allen. They'll go back to Friesen. Now a bobble. Gebhardt's going to pull it out of the air, and somehow he'll score. When you got a bunch of lemons, you make lemonade. Then you put a little sugar on that. You end up scoring off the left-hand side of that offensive line. Wade Rutherford and Caden Isaacson held their blocks in time for that foobar to happen there for Southeast of Saline. And Luke Gebhardt gets a rushing touchdown out of the deal.
Yeah, and a great job and great concentration right there by Luke. Not to get flustered, to keep his eye on the ball, get it back in his hands. But he has to give credit to those 5 offensive linemen, especially the 3 on the left side, for holding their blocks long enough for him to corral that football.
Southeast goes all the way down the field. They score. Now a traditional formation on the point after. Friesen will run it in. He stretched the defense out to the right-hand side, then found a door open out there. He's able to step through and put 2 on the board. Southeast of Saline, after the opening drive, leads it over Hillsboro 8-0 as you listen to Southeast of Saline football here on KINA.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses acquire relief loans to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back to Steve Fritz Field. It's homecoming here, southeast of Saline High School. Devin Haney, Russ Kossel, Big Sam Pretty producing and engineering. It's a 1-yard touchdown run by Luke Gebhardt.
Looks like that'll be Luke's 6th rushing touchdown of the year. A pretty good drive right there, Devin. I think, no flaws. You had positive gains on every play, so I don't think you can ask for much more.
Wyatt Boyd will put the ball in the air. He's going to uncork this one, put it back inside of the 10-yard line. Here comes Hillsboro on the return, a crease right down the middle of the field, and a couple of Trojans, including Slade Johnson, will have to come up and into that return at about the 38-yard line. That was a big return there by Hillsboro's Nicholas Smith, the senior, pretty much right up the middle of the field between the hash marks, and he has given his Hillsboro Trojans pretty good field position here on their first drive of the game to start.
And I think if you ask the question marks on this team with Coach Gebhardt, where we've talked to him throughout the year, is special teams and the coverage on kickoffs.
Starting out about the same spot, Southeast of Saline started their drive. Southeast started theirs at their own 35. There's Hillsboro starting out at their own 37. First down and 10. They have 2 backs in the backfield. They also have 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers. Here's the quarterback. It is Dawson Bolt. He's going to hand it off, and a big run off to the right-hand side is going to be taken by Wyatt Plenert. Plenert, a junior, he's the leading rusher on this Hillsboro team. He comes into this game with 63 carries, 272 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the season, and he has a first down on his first carry of 11 yards.
And that was a big hole on that right side. It opened up, and he was able to break one tackle about 2 yards after the line of scrimmage. So a great job and a great first play call by Hillsboro.
Hillsboro comes back to the line now at the 47. One of the tight ends in motion, scooting from right to left. High snap. Bolt will bring it down, and he will hand it off this time.
Number 7, Wyatt Plenert on the carry.
To Wyatt Plenert. Once again, Plenert. Such good luck this time as that Southeast defense closed down, led by Caden Isaacson. He'll go for no gain on the play.
Yeah, Caden Isaacson, Mac Chambers, really the first ones there to fill in the hole and make contact, giving up that first big play. And it's not the first time we've seen him give up. I wouldn't call that maybe a big play, but a first down nonetheless on the first play of the game. We saw that many times this year on the first play.
Second down and 10 for Hillsboro. Pushing the ball towards midfield. They're at their own 47-yard line. Tight formation, no receivers out wide. Here comes the blitz. It's going to be led by Chambers, Isaacson, Josiah Monday all in there chasing. Slade Johnson in tow as well. And a pass that is incomplete after they flushed Dawson Bolt, the junior quarterback, out to the left-hand side. His first pass hits the turf out of bounds.
And not many teams have had success going under center and drop back and passing with the pass rush of Southeast to Saline.
3rd and 10 for Hillsboro. Big play to start this game. Now they have their backs against the wall. Down in distance, not in their favor at a 3rd and 10. Southeast of Saline looking over their formation. Keller, Monday, Johnson, the front three. Cameron Whitty floating around. We don't ever know where we're going to find him. Landon Allen, pretty much the same story. Shotgun formation here for Hillsboro. Bolt will roll out. He'll take about a 15-step drop and then find a receiver right at the sticks, but he stepped out of bounds short, and the official's going to give it to him. Boy, the receiver here stepped out of bounds at the 44-yard line right in front of the Southeast bench and then turned and took a couple more yards, and the official gives him the benefit of the doubt. That's Jacob Thiessen on the catch. He takes it to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, his front foot came down in bounce, but his left foot then went out of bounds right behind it, so it should have been spotted right there, but instead a favorable spot for Hillsboro to bring up first down.
11 yards, and they have put it now into Southeast of Saline territory at the 42-yard line. First down for the visiting Trojans from Hillsboro. Here goes Plenert in motion. They're going to hand it off inside, and Anders Weisbeck is going to pay the price there, maybe lost a yard.
Yeah, Daniel Kerr saw that one the whole way coming up from his safety spot. A great read right there.
They're going to give him the line of scrimmage here maybe as they put the football down. As Anders Weisbeck on his first carry of the game so far.
Something I've noticed here, haven't really seen this issue a lot here, but the play clock in the south end zone is working and the play clock in the north end zone is not.
Okay. Usually when that happens, you shut them both down. Second down and 10 for Hillsboro. They're going to give it to Weisbeck again. He's the first man through, and he is hit immediately by the linebacking core for Southeast of Saline. Slade Johnson in there as well. Danny Kerr also in there. Third down and long coming up here for the Trojans of Hillsboro.
I think the only one about not on in on that tackle was Jake Gebhardt and Michael Murray on the outside, so a great job of collapsing on the football up the middle.
Sometimes you just need people just to tell you you're doing a good job. 42-yard line. Still a line of scrimmage and a third down and 10 coming up. Trojans scored on their opening drive, got the 2-point conversion after touchdown. Right now it's 8-0. Hillsboro working on their opening drive as we go inside 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter. 3 wide receivers, including the tight end on the left-hand side. Bolt back to pass. They're going to heat him up. Southeast gets to him. There's a quarterback sack for Southeast of Saline at the 45-yard line. You can pick about 4 different people that time, but it was led by the front 3. Johnson, Keller, Monday, Cameron Whitty also in the sidecar as they come storming through. And really, that's a coverage sack also. I know it happened pretty fast, Russ, but they only caught 4 people sent to the quarterback. the other 7 drop back in coverage.
Yeah, and I think you're exactly right. And with the struggles in the coverage at about 10 yards we've seen early on this drive, a great adjustment in the secondary and a great job by the front 4 up front.
It's a loss of 12. Low snap now on the punt. They're going to be able to pull it out, though, and a punt that's going to bounce at the 25 and go dead just inside of the 25-yard line. Southeast of Saline will come out and take over.
You give up a few 10-plus plays on that drive, but you go back to the bend, don't break mentality, and you end up with a minus 12 at the end of that drive to kind of balance that out. So a good job by the defense to keep them out of the end zone on the first drive, see what they dial up on their second drive of the game.
He took a really, really deep drop on the completion for the first down. The pass before that, he did the same there, only there were 3.5 purple jerseys right in his face. Gebhardt now comes out. Luke will start things off here at the 25-yard line for Southeast of Saline. Second drive of the game, ball on the turf. Friesen will cover it up, and now Southeast of Saline will take a couple steps back here to the 17-yard line.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit, maybe the first time this year we've seen a snap kind of get away from Nathan Weller. It went to Gebhardt's right. He reached his right hand out, kind of went off his fingertips. Friesen tried to catch it off the fingertips, and then it hit the ground, but a great job by Friesen.
And it did rain a lot of the afternoon here on this field, so it is a wet ball for really the first time other than, possibly fourth quarter of the Halstead game where the Dew got the best of everybody there, but there were no turnovers. Here's Michael Murray. He catches a frozen rope from Luke Gebhardt. Murray will twist and turn his way up to the 35-yard line. That also happens to be where the sticks are at, and Michael Murray will have a first down and a pickup of 17 yards.
And you can forget about that bad snap and come back and make one play for a first down. So great adjustment right there.
Murray has 2 catches, 31 yards so far. Low snap. Gebhardt will take it to the knees. Now he's getting a little bit of pressure. He'll roll out and have open field in front of him. 5 yards, now 10. Slips a tackle, 15 yards, and he's going to come across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Nice carry there of 15 yards for Luke Gebhardt.
And that 15-yard run will help out his 5.7 per carry average. So a great job right there reading the defense.
Southeast is already ready to go. From the Hillsboro 49, here's Friesen. He's going to take on the middle of that Hillsboro defense, and he'll be brought down at the 44-yard line after a gain of 5. 30 yards here early on by Nathan Friesen on 5 carries. Second down and 5. Here's Jake Gebhardt out in the flat. He'll have a first down as he's brought down at the 36. That's another lightning quick gain of 8. Tempo is back up where Southeast of Saline is used to playing, isn't it?
Yeah, and the coaches on the field have their hands in the air calling the plays as soon as the play is over.
From the 36, chains are set. First down and 10. Gebhardt, play action, will roll out left. Now he'll have to throw off his back foot. A one-handed attempt by Michael Murray, and it's intercepted. Coming back the other way are the Hillsboro Trojans after another interception by Southeast of Saline this season, and it's going to be Lincoln Weichert, the sophomore, and he's going to bring it all the way back to the 42-yard line. It's just the second incomplete pass by Luke Gebhardt here tonight, but it's another interception, his 8th of the year.
Yeah, and it seems like his incompletions are very limited towards games, but those incompletions are to the other team.
42-yard line is where Hillsboro will take over here. A promising drive for Southeast of Saline is ended on a turnover. First down and 10, Hillsboro Trojans. Dawson Bolt brings his offense back out. He is a pistol formation. He will turn and give it to Wyatt Plennert, and Plennert is going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage and lose 3 yards.
Yeah, Landon Allen had a beat on that play the whole time. As soon as the ball was snapped, he saw the hole open up, filled it, made a great open field tackle.
And Hillsboro wants to call a timeout and talk about it. We will as well. 3:03 left to go here in the first quarter. 8-0 Southeast of Saline. You're listening and watching on SalinaPost.com. Southeast of Saline Trojan football presented by New Image Audio.
Good evening, everyone. This is Shelby Dixon reporting live for Elite Sports Zombie Expedition ESZE, Channel 23. We are here at Elite Sports, just right south of Salina, in between Old Highway 81 and I-135. There is currently a zombie apocalypse occurring where the infected are trying to eat human flesh. We are currently right outside the quarantine zone, but I'm going to send you inside the quarantine zone to Sergeant Carter.
This is Sergeant Carter. We set up a perimeter to help contain the infected, but we need your help. They are multiplying by the minute. We have trailers with semi-automatic weapons equipped to take down these zombies. If you can pull the trigger, I don't care how old you are, if you can pull the trigger, please come out here and roll to be a zombie hunter and help us.
Classifications, they've been going from 1A to 2A, while Southeast of Saline's been bouncing from 2A to 3A and back and forth. Second down and 13. Bolt back to pass, has Trevor Keller in his face. He spins away from Keller, and then he is going to be finished off. Slade Johnson came in and helped Trevor Keller out, and those two again team up for a huge loss and another quarterback sack of Hillsboro's Dawson Bolt.
And Trevor Keller might not get that sack on the stat sheet, but that sack goes to him. Yes, they came in and finished him off, but without Trevor Keller stopping him right there, he maybe springs free, makes a play down the field. So a great job for another big loss.
2 sacks, negative 23 yards so far. You looked at me before the game. We were going over some stats, and you said, that's negative rushing for their quarter. That can't be right. I said, well, now we know why. 3 wide receivers, left-hand side. Bolt drops the snap, has to get away from Slade Johnson. Now he's going to pass into traffic. He is caught, and a flag flies in the middle of the field after Southeast of Saline delivers a big hit.
You almost wonder if that, just a question here, it might be an illegal man downfield as they kind of.
Good call. Nice.
That's exactly what they're going to call illegal. And I'm assuming right here they will decline the penalty and bring up 4th and long.
So they are going to count the pass that netted them 5 yards.
And Nash Dickinson, the center, was about 8 yards down the field trying to pick up a block. So
Seth Driggers on that reception for Hillsboro. Punt formation once again for Hillsboro. Lincoln Weichert will punt it away to Friesen. Looks like Luke Gebhardt this time. Maybe that's Murray. It's Luke and Murray. Here's Murray, takes it off a bounce, now dragging a Hillsboro Trojan for 3 yards. And he'll give Southeast of Saline a start on their 3rd possession at their own 36-yard line. So you throw the interception, nobody hurt there. You get another big quarterback sack, and now you have the football back at your own 36. 1:41 left to go, first quarter, 8-0, Southeast of Saline. Landon Allen inside, 2 wide receivers to the right-hand side. Tucker Thaxton, the sophomore, a solo to the left. Here's the snap. Gebhardt drops it. Now he's going to pick it up, take off, and run. Has a 4-yard gain.
And if you're going to say get a 4-yard gain after you drop the football, I'm not saying by any means do that every time, but you mentioned it earlier, making lemonades out of, however you say it. I don't ever use that one, but you get it right there and you come up with a positive from a negative.
Just outside of the 40-yard line, 2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard gain on 1st down. 2 wide receivers wide to the right-hand side. Gebhardt looking that way, puts it down the hash. Again, off the gloves of Murray, and another interception. Here comes Hillsboro back on the return, and it's the 2nd interception in 2 passes for Southeast of Saline. Both times, Gebhardt was looking down the field to Murray, and it's another pick for this Hillsboro defense.
And that throw was a little high, but you got to think coming into play, we've seen the ball kind of bounce around, not being able to be handled, and that's a catch Murray usually comes down with. I would say 9 times out of 10, Michael's going to catch that football, but with it being wet, and the first time it's really been this wet all year, tough to bring down. Nonetheless, goes down as a 2nd interception on the 2nd throw.
Seth Driggers in on that interception for the Hillsboro defense. He just caught the last pass on offense for the Hillsboro Trojans. Hillsboro has really good field position now. See if they can do something with it at the Southeast of Saline 46-yard line. Pistol formation. Dawson Bolt has Wyatt Plennert behind him. Now Plennert will leave. Deep pitch into their own backfield. Plennert has his work cut out for him, and he does get back to the line of scrimmage. Plennert had to run 8 yards just to get back to the line.
Yeah, I was going to say that's an 8-yard carry for no gain. So when you're in the shotgun and you run a sweep like that, you run the risk, and that is a tough play call with this Southeast defense, and as good as they are against the run.
I think if you're going to pitch the football back that deep in your own backfield against a defense like Southeast of Saline, you probably don't want your insurance company to find out about it.
Yeah, it's, Southeast coming in the game with 44 tackles for loss, so you're playing with house money when you do that.
I think our buddy Kelly Kitchener would tell us that's high risk. 2nd down and 10. Here's the snap. They fake that pitch. Now Bolt rolling out to the right, looking for somewhere to go, still holding the football out away from his body, trying to avoid the sack, and he is going to be taken down at the 47-yard line, and he's going to lose another huge chunk of yardage.
Yeah, I think Landon Allen read that one on the run. He knew the receiver was covered on the deep end as we reached the end of the first quarter.
Loss of 7 on the play, and a huge 3rd down and distance coming up when we come back at the end of 1. Southeast of Saline leads Hillsboro 8-0 on KINA and Salina Post. It's brought to you by New Image Audio.
Good evening, everyone. This is Shelby Dixon reporting live for Elite Sports Zombie Expedition ESZE, Channel 23. We are here at Elite Sports, just right south of Salina, in between Old Highway 81 and I-135. There is currently a zombie apocalypse occurring where the infected are trying to eat human flesh. We are currently right outside the quarantine zone, but I'm going to send you inside the quarantine zone to Sergeant Carter.
This is Sergeant Carter. We set up a perimeter to help contain the infected, but we need your help. They are multiplying by the minute. We have trailers with semi-automatic weapons equipped to take down these zombies. If you can pull the trigger, I don't care how old you are, if you can pull the trigger, please come out here and roll to be a zombie hunter and help us.
To Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Welcome back. Ready for second quarter action. Hillsboro has the football. It's going to be 3rd down and 17 after the 7-yard loss. 3 quarterback sacks so far for the Southeast of Saline defense, netting negative 30 yards. Third down and 17. Out of the quarter break, here comes the blitz by Southeast. Pass out to the right-hand side. Landon Allen was the closest one to it, and it falls incomplete. And a 4th down and long coming up.
Yeah, and Landon planted that right foot and read that one. If he wouldn't have slipped just a little bit, that might have been housed the other way.
First check of the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. The opponent from last week, the Clay Center Tigers, they are in their district and playing an NCKL foe tonight in the Concordia Panthers. Clay Center early on leads that game 14-0. Hillsboro lining up here for a punt from midfield on 4th and 17. High snap. Weichert gets it down, and a quick kick that bounces at the 25. Murray will let it go, watches it breeze by, and that football is going to die at the 15-yard line. After tonight, just looking ahead, put it in your planner during this little break here and change of possession. Next week we will be at Lions to play the Lions. And then the following week, back here at home for the final scheduled game and the 8th game of the season against the Ellsworth Bearcats, who come into this week undefeated. They're 5-0 as well, and they are playing Russell tonight. Actually, there's one more in there, isn't there? What am I missing, Russ?
No, you're right. Just 2 games left. Should be Lions and Ellsworth.
Next week, of course, you look at the rest of the Ellsworth schedule, wondering, if they'll possibly come in here undefeated. They might. They have Russell tonight. They have Halstead at home next week. Halstead, I think we came out of there with a lot of respect for them. Here's Luke Gebhardt rolling out left-hand side. He's going to lose the football as he is sacked and taken down at the 10-yard line. 3 turnovers now for Southeast of Saline.
And that's 3 turnovers on back-to-back-to-back drives. So
that's 3 turnovers in 5 plays.
Yeah, that sounds a little better than back-to-back-to-back. It's a little shorter sentence, but still, it's not good either way.
Oh, boy. And that gifts Hillsboro the football at the 10-yard line. Trojan defense will have to bow up here. Dawson Bolt barely got over to the sideline. Now he's going to have to come out and play offense once again. They will send a single receiver, Nicholas Smith, out to the right-hand side. Tyson Plenert, their leading receiver, the senior, out to the left. Here's Bolt. Hands it off. He will have Wyatt Plenert in the gap, and he will dance around and get no gain on the play.
Yeah, and had a missed tackle about 4 yards back in the backfield. So corral around, make the play, another no-gain play, and you're really going to have to stand tall right here at the 10-yard line.
Second down and goal coming up here for Hillsboro. Football setting on the chalk at the 10-yard line. Hillsboro's team all huddled up over on their sideline, watching their offense go to work under head coach Demetrius Cox. Again, they run same formation. One wide receiver on each side, two running backs in the backfield. They will protect Bolt. He wants to pass to the right. Has a man looking for the pylon. He's going to be short, but it's a gain of about 9. Catch on the play that time by Nicholas Smith as he was able to stretch it all the way down. Looks like they're going to give him the 2. Gain of 8.
And a great open field tackle by Jake Gebhardt right there to keep him out of the end zone. Made contact right as the ball got there, held on, drove his feet to keep him out of the goal line.
For Smith, that's his first catch of the night so far. 3 different Hillsboro Trojans have caught passes from Dawson Bolt on 3 of 5 passing. And Hillsboro will take their second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 1 remaining and a chance for us to step aside. 9:39 left to go here in the second quarter. Hillsboro knocking on the door. They trail southeast of Saline 8-0 here on KINA.
Fall is here and another season of mowing is almost complete. Between regular use and potential damage from unseen branches or rocks, mowers endure a great deal of stress. Let Prairie Partners John Deere certified technicians inspect and service your mower or handheld equipment. Neglecting service at the end of the season could potentially shorten your mower's lifespan and lead to expensive repairs. Call, stop by, or visit PrairieLandPartners.com to schedule your equipment service today.
Delivering the right solution. Prairie Land Partners.
Work hard, play hard. Good luck, Trojans from Roselawn Memorial Park in Salina. To learn more, visit RoselawnSalina.com.
Back here at Steve Fritz Field, Devin Haney, Russ Kossel, 3 turnovers so far for southeast of Saline. That's really the story of the game. They had 3 turnovers last week in a 26-14 victory over Clay Center. Clay Center had 0 turnovers in that game. Southeast still able to win by 12. Third down and goal from the 2-yard line here for Hillsboro. They're going to line up, double wing back and a power back in the backfield. It looks like Anders Weisbeck. They give it to Weisbeck. He's going to go straight ahead. No official from the signal yet, and they're going to say he is down just outside of the goal line. Hillsboro has not made a field goal this year. I don't even believe they have attempted one. Now Demetrius Cox is going to come out and meet his quarterback, Dawson Bolt, for a 4th down play. It's 4th and about a football.
And we've seen Southeast have 1st and goal on defense and stand up many times this year. You got 4th and goal right now at an 8-0 game. Big possession, big play early.
Hillsboro will stay with the same formation. Weisbeck, the big back in the backfield. He's about 230 pounds. They're going to play action. Bolt rolling out. Has a man, but it is dropped. Holy Moses. Jacob Thiessen in the end zone. He was covered in a distance by Luke Gebhardt and could not hang on to that ball as it was thrown from Dawson Bolt just a little behind him, and he dropped the football. Southeast of Saline turns Hillsboro away, and now the Trojans of Southeast will have to start at their own goal line.
I mean, he had all 10 fingers on that football. It was a little behind him, but it was still right in his belly, and all he had to do was just corral it and hold on to it. So big stand right there early for Southeast.
8:57 left to go. Southeast takes over. Here's a snap in the shotgun to Luke Gebhardt. He hands it out to Nate Friesen. Friesen looking for daylight to get out, and he's going to get about a yard.
And a 1-yard game, but you're taking the snap about 3 to 4 yards deep in your end zone, so dangerous right here. Southeast strictly runs out of the shotgun, so this is nothing new for them.
Friesen did get about 2 yards there to give them a little bit of daylight. 7 carries, 34 yards for Nathan Friesen. Second down. Here's Gebhardt rolling out to the right, looking for some space. He is going to have some and gets out to the 5 on a gain of 2.
And that doesn't seem like much, a gain of 2 out to the 5, but from where you were at about your 2-3 yard line, now you're not going to be taking the shotgun as deep in the end zone, if at all, on the goal line. Gives you more room to move around and open the playbook up a little bit.
3rd down and 5 from the 5 for Southeast of Saline. They're buried deep in their own territory, but stood and did not give up any points to Hillsboro on offense. Gebhardt has Landon Allen in front of him. He will disperse. Now he's going to throw it in the middle of the field, and Tucker Thaxton drops the football. Thaxton set up shop at the 20-yard line. Gebhardt put it right between the twos of his 22 jersey, and Thaxton was unable to hang on. So we see the moisture of this football really kind of messing with everybody right now.
Yeah, and Southeast set up a little different there. Usually they're spread wide out in the field. That time they set up tight. Yeah, wide receivers, but they were more like all in the slot. And Tucker came wide open in the middle of the field, and Gebhardt, like you said, put it right on the numbers, and he was just unable to catch it.
Mac Chambers and Luke Gebhardt have the most important job on the field right now. Chambers, the long snapper, puts it right on the money. Luke's going to uncork it, a directional kick to the left, and it's going to go across the 35 to the 37 and die down there as Hillsboro will take over, again, with very good field position, but it's better than the 10 that they started out with after the last turnover for Southeast of Saline. Hillsboro will start out here at the Southeast 37-yard line. 3 turnovers so far for Southeast of Saline. Hillsboro's had trouble protecting their quarterback. They've given up 3 quarterback sacks for a loss of 30 yards. Stick with us at halftime. We'll talk Southeast of Saline cross country with Wade Castleman. It's coming up here in about 7 minutes and 28 seconds of scoreboard time. First down and 10, Hillsboro. They have 2 backs in the backfield along with quarterback Dawson Bolt. Here's the snap back to Bolt. It bounces off his hands and goes right to Plenert. Plenert has some space off the right-hand side, and he is going to be ran out of bounds just short of the 10-yard line. That was a strange play as Dawson Bolt had that football bounce right off his gloves, and it went into the hands of Wyatt Plenert. Plenert was off and running and got a big gain on the play of 23 yards. Hillsboro now has it. They're at the 14-yard line in Southeast territory. So Hillsboro living down here now in the red zone, pushing the Southeast of Saline defense. So far the purple guys have been all right, not giving up any points. Being pressed, though, here. First down and 10. Hillsboro in the red zone. 2 backs in the backfield. They'll protect Dawson Bolt. Here's a receiver out to the left-hand side. It's going to be thrown on a rope to Tyson Plenert. He's looking for the goal line, and he's going to be stacked up at the 1. It is a gain of 13.
As I make my way down to the field down here and get on here, Devin, field's it looks nice. It's in good shape, but it is sopping wet down here.
Russ will talk to Mitch Gebhardt before he goes into the locker room at halftime. A catch by Tyson Plenert gives Hillsboro a first down. It's 1st and goal at the 1. Wyatt Plenert in the backfield. Dawson Bolt will go under center. Tries a quarterback sneak, and he is blasted back into the backfield as Southeast of Saline denies that play. It was led by Slade Johnson and Caden Isaacson.
Yeah, Slade did a great job getting off that quick block right there, made quick work of it to stop quarterback from sneaking into the end zone.
That'll bring up 2nd goal now. See if Hillsboro tries the same thing there. Dawson Bolt, not a big guy. He's a junior, and he's only 140 pounds, about 5'8". They may need to go back to Weisbeck here and see what he can do. He is the big back behind Dawson Bolt as down they go in the I formation. Full back, it is going to be Wyatt Plenert behind Weisbeck, and they will be denied once again. Boy, Southeast just not giving any space here as Wyatt Plenert unable to score.
Yeah, these front 3 are doing an excellent job. The offensive line trying to submarine block, go quick at the feet, and Southeast is all over it, just jumping to the side and getting to the backfield.
Football still setting outside of the goal line after 2 unsuccessful plays. Now it is 3rd down and goal at the 1. A lot of time just running off the clock here. 5:14 left to go in the second quarter. Dawson Bolt's going to go to the shotgun and empty the backfield. 5 wide receivers. Looking to the left, has one-on-one coverage, and that was very, very easy as Southeast of Saline had a defensive back fall down. Wyatt Boyd fell down in coverage.
We're going to have an illegal shift, it looks like, on the far side of the field. The receiver never really got set over there.
Okay. So fortunately for Southeast of Saline, now they're going to have a little bit of a cushion. That touchdown does not count because of penalty, and Hillsboro's going to have to take 5 yards back. So now instead of the 1, they are at the 6.
And now down here they're bringing Michael Murray back into the game, maybe for pass coverage situations.
Ball setting here just outside of the 5 at the 6-yard line. It is 3rd down and goal. Interesting that time. You knew they had to go quick pass because they haven't been able to protect Dawson Bolt if they don't have at least 2 guys in the backfield. And they're going to go same formation here. Weisbeck playing tight end on the left-hand side. They have 2 guys in tight. Bolt back to pass, has some space. Now he's running out to the right. Here comes Mac Chambers. Here comes Cameron Whitty also. Bolt gets rid of it, and it's going to be a Hillsboro touchdown. Dawson Bolt was able to buy himself enough time that he found Anders Weisbeck on the left-hand side and a touchdown from 6 yards away.
Yeah, he did a great job there scrambling around, finding Weisbeck over here at about the 4-yard line. And when a guy that big has got that much momentum, he's hard to bring down.
5 of 9 now throwing the football for Dawson Bolt and gets himself a 6-yard touchdown there. .457 left to go here in the second quarter. Hillsboro now trying to tie this thing up. They will go for 2. Back judges counting. They may be running out of time here. They're going to snap the football. Bolt running out to his right. Going to throw it back into the middle of the field off of several Southeast of Saline defenders. And incomplete. So Southeast retains their lead 8-6 with 4:57 left to go here in the second quarter. See if Southeast can hang on to the football when we come back here on KINA.
Suburban Appliance Center is your official dealer for Traeger grills. Check out this 6-in-1 versatile unit that grills, bakes, smokes, roasts, braces, and barbecues. Suburban is your exclusive dealer for the Traeger Timberline series, and they have your Traeger spices too. Suburban Appliance Center, they are locally owned and they offer appliance brands like Amana, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and of course Maytag. Suburban also offers exceptional service. Suburban Appliance Center, 1900 South 9th.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Southeast of Saline football here on KINA, and also live stream video on SalinaPost.com tonight, brought to you by New Image Audio. They are the kings of tint in Salina. If you need something tinted, especially on your vehicle, go to New Image Audio. Talk to TC and family. They will do a really good job and hook you up. Got some of that really durable, scratch-resistant ceramic tint on the station vehicle, Russ. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it works great everywhere we go.
Took it over there to New Image Audio. I said, what do you think about this? He said, I got you covered.
Yeah, maybe he can cover me with a sweatshirt because I did not dress properly to be down here on the field tonight.
I got one with a Jayhawk on it up here if you want it. Here's Hillsboro now on the kickoff. It's going to bounce in front of Michael Murray. He'll one-hop it at the 24-yard line. Had a guy to beat, it looked like. If he got past one guy for Hillsboro, he might be knocking his head off the goalpost right now, but he was stuck right there and unable to get away from the coverage team. Southeast of Saline will come out now, and they will start at their own 36-yard line.
I think Southeast 4:52 to go here in the first half. You got to hold on to the football. Go back to the run, hand it off Nathan Friesen, 5 yards of carry. It's hard to go away from.
3 receivers in tight on the left-hand side. Friesen is in the backfield. They are going to play action at the Friesen. Now Luke Gebhardt with a little pump fake will go ahead to the 39-yard line on a gain of 3. 27 yards on 6 carries so far for Luke.
And I don't know if Luke was a pump fake, but he almost lost that football on the pump fake, so a good job to bring it down and get positive yards.
Seems risky, doesn't it, when the ball is that slickery? 2nd down and 7 at the 39. Gebhardt now rolling out to the left. He's going to throw it over to Murray. Murray past the 40, now 45, and stepped out of bounds there again, just looking for that crack of daylight, as it looks like He is going to be short of the first down.
Yeah, and I think you're going to have an illegal shift here on Southeast on the far side. I think he took one step to the side to readjust.
Okay. And it is a penalty against Southeast of Saline that will make them replay second down. Illegal shift over on that far side. Second down and 12 now. Southeast backed up to their own 34-yard line. 4:16 left to go. It is 8-6. And a score that probably right now, if it's being served up around the state of Kansas, probably raising a lot of eyebrows.
I think it's raising our eyebrows.
Second down and 12. Gebhardt will empty the backfield. 4 wide receivers on the left-hand side. Going down the sideline on a streak to Jake Gebhardt, who's in bracket coverage as the safety comes over late, and that ball is incomplete. 6 out of 11 throwing the football so far for Luke Gebhardt. 2 interceptions and a fumble. He also has the lone touchdown for Southeast of Saline on the ground from 1 yard out.
And you wonder maybe if they're trying to get a little confidence back in Luke after that 2 interceptions on back-to-back throws and then that fumble that he lost down there at the goal line, to maybe just get a pass down the field to get him going once again.
Third down and 12. Southeast of Saline goes 4 wide receivers. Fake to Friesen over the middle of the field. Michael Murray goes up. The ball was thrown behind him. He tried to scrape it in with his right arm and was unable to come up with it. And another incomplete pass brings up 4th and 12.
And no, really, I don't think design run plays on that drive. I think it may have been a pass on first down. It was a pump fake and Luke took off, but then back-to-back interception or incompletions.
Gebhardt now backed up. Luke got his own 20-yard line. He'll have to punt this football. High spiraling quick kick that'll take a really good Southeast of Saline bounce at about the 37-yard line. It's going to end up all the way back at the 24-yard line, where Southeast of Saline's defense will be called upon once again here to get a stop with 3:55 left to go before halftime. As I said, we'll talk to Wade Castleman coming up at the half about Southeast of Saline cross country. We'll get caught up with him. We'll also have scores on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard, and we'll have stats from the first half. Right now, they are not great.
Yeah, we're, Southeast averaging 400-plus yards a game. You wonder if they're even going to be close to that 150-yard mark by the end of this first half.
From the 24, Hillsboro with an opportunity here. They're going to have 2 running backs in the backfield. Around quarterback Dawson Bolt. Here's the give to Wyatt Plinert. He's out across the 25-yard line to the 26. That'll be a gain of 2 for Wyatt Plinert. He's their leading rusher on the season right now, 7 carries, 33 yards, Russ.
Yeah, and Plinert did a great job right there. That was a design play in the A-gap on the right side. It closed up. He came to a little jump cut back to the left to get positive yards. Not a big gain, but a real down saver right there.
Second down and 8 for Hillsboro as we approach the 3-minute mark. About 3.5 left to go here in the second quarter. 8-6, Southeast of Saline leading by 2. The backs now will split, 1 on each side of quarterback Dawson Bolt. And a flag will stop this play before it gets a chance to get out of the blocks. It'll be illegal procedure against Hillsboro. It'll back the visiting Trojans from Marion County up to the 21-yard line.
Yeah, the center right there, I don't think he meant to snap the ball because he snapped it back and then replaced it back down on the ground, hoping nobody would see it.
So back to the 21. Second down and 13 coming up here. 1 wide receiver split on each side. A tight end and a wing back and a running back. They're going to sneak it into the belly that time of Anders Weisbeck, and he is not even able to get anything more than the handoff as he is backed up to the 16-yard line and loses 5 on the play.
Yeah, and I think we're going to get a timeout here by Southeast.
And it is a Southeast Trojan timeout. Their first of the game, 2:49 left to go here in the second quarter. It's 8-6, Southeast of Saline. Right now they're on defense as you listen to it on KINA.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Saline office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Southeast of Saline trying to lean on their defense here a little bit to try to make something happen. It is 8-6, Southeast of Saline leading the Hillsboro Trojans by 2 with 2:49 left to go here in the second quarter. Hillsboro breaks their huddle with their coach, Demetrius Cox. Over on the right-hand side, they will have Nicholas Smith. On the left, Tyson Plenert. Everybody else inside around the hashes. But an empty backfield here for Dawson Bolt. He's scrambling out to the right, has the ball ready to go, and he's going to be hit and dropped. Landon Allen there along with Slade Johnson. And how about the game, Russ, that Slade Johnson's having tonight?
Yeah, Slade Johnson being an absolute animal up front. And the center right there, Josiah Monday over the center, did a great job taking on two offensive linemen right there and running right through both of them, getting held from both shoulder pads. But Slade Johnson, you mentioned it, just having a phenomenal game.
And it's another timeout here on the field for Southeast of Saline. We'll take it as well. A quick 30 here on KINA.
At home or on the road, K4 Garage will keep you moving. With over 12 years of mechanic experience, owner Nick Trout will diagnose and repair your engine to keep you in the game. Full service gas, diesel, or tires. K4 Garage also has a fully stocked convenience store with snacks and drinks. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 6, Saturday from 9 until 3. Trust K4 Garage with keeping you on the road. And if it has oil, they can change it at K4 Garage in Gypsum.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Football on KINA.
Remember, as we look around the corner here to the third quarter, it's a big exchange here in the last 2.5 minutes because Hillsboro is scheduled to get the football to start the second half. Southeast started the game with the ball, went down the field, and scored on a 1-yard Luke Gebhardt touchdown run. 2:41 left to go. Punt formation for Hillsboro. You have two Trojans standing back at the 40-yard line. This punt, a really good low-line driver, but it's going to take an angle towards the Hillsboro sideline and out of bounds. Murray and Luke Gebhardt do not have a chance to return, and the official is going to walk all the way to the 37-yard line, and that'll be the short field for Southeast of Saline that they have their defense to thank for it.
Yeah, you have to capitalize on this drive right now. Plenty of time, 2:36. Southeast goes no huddle, regardless of the situation. I think you have to settle down, maybe hand the ball off a few times. Still plenty of time to do that and get this ball in the end zone.
How big would it be here if the Trojans of Southeast could score a touchdown? First down and 10. They start out the Hillsboro 37-yard line. Landon Allen is in tight. Two wide receivers on the left-hand side. Here's the fake to Friesen. Luke Gebhardt wanting to roll out. He's going to throw a wobbler to brother Jake, and Jake will step out as he gets just inside of the Can-Equip red zone at the 19-yard line.
Yeah, I think I might have been the closest one to make the tackle on that, but a great job by Jake to kind of read where the defense is at, float back. Luke waited for him to get on the backside of that cornerback.
18 yards for Gebhardt to Gebhardt. Here's Luke now. Hands it off to Michael Murray. Murray had to do a little pirouette there to turn around and get the football in mid-stride as and Luke Gebhardt had a little miscommunication there, and that will result in a loss of 3 yards.
Yeah, I think it was just mishandled on the snap as Murray was in motion. If you don't get the snap clean right there, your timing is way off.
So that'll put the football back to the 24-yard line. Second down and 13. Southeast going quick, empty backfield. Out to Landon Allen in the flat. He's at the 20, dives ahead to the 15-yard line, and a third down coming up. Be third down and about 5.
Still plenty of time, just under 2 minutes. You need to convert. Obviously, it's 2-down situation right here, but much easier if you can get the first down on this play.
3rd and 5 at the 15. Still plenty of time. One timeout remaining. 1:39 on the board. Luke Gebhardt stares over to the right-hand side. Now he's going to tuck it and run into the second level. He's at the 5, somersault down to the 2, and brought down there at the 1-yard line after a gain of 14 on the ground for Luke Gebhardt.
Yeah, he just followed the block of Caden Isaacson right there. Just Mac Chambers did an excellent job staying on his block.
Sounds like a good plan. From the one, here's Gebhardt riding the fake to Friesen, and he's going to tiptoe his way in on the left-hand side. He followed in Wade Rutherford and Caden Isaacson on the left-hand side of that Southeast Trojan offensive line. And for the second time tonight, Luke Gebhardt is in the end zone with 1:23 left to go, and it's 14-6 Southeast with the extra point pending.
And Devin, we've seen that play a lot with that little drop back, hold it, and go, and haven't seen it much in this game.
Little read option play, really. Here's Gebhardt now on the two-point conversion, throws one over the top of the defender, and Jake Gebhardt in the back of the end zone reels it in. 1:23 left to go here in the second quarter. Another 8-point trip for Southeast of Saline. Now they lead by 10, 16-6 here on KINA.
Maybe you don't play quarterback or make the highlight reel. Maybe you're not a high school athlete anymore. But just like an athlete, you can get first-class orthopedic care from Saline Ortho. Their doctors and staff strive to get you back to an injury-free, pain-free life as quickly as possible. Salina Ortho has a doctor on call 24/7 for all orthopedic injuries. So next time you're injured, trust the experts at Salina Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future. See them online at salinaortho.com.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Boy, don't know how to explain it, but just kind of a tedious situation there. And all of a sudden now, Southeast of Saline has a 10-point lead with 1:23 left to go here in the half.
And don't sleep on that 2-point conversion, because if you don't get that, it's not a 2-score game.
Absolutely. A little early, it seems like, to be talking about that, but we have to. Here's Weisbach. Now Anders will take it off the turf, picks it up, and he got little to nothing on the return. He will start Hillsboro out at their own 24-yard line. Southeast defense tonight, they've been really good. They've been put in some bad spots, but they have come up really, really good so far in this game. And see if they can finish it out here and head to the locker room with a 10-point lead. 79 seconds left to go. Hillsboro has burned 2 timeouts, so they only have 1 remaining.
Update from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Abilene at circle 14-0 circle.
Okay, thank you. 1 receiver on each side here for Hillsboro. They're going to run it to Wyatt Plenert, and he will lean ahead, and he will have the 25-yard line on a gain of 1.
If you're Hillsboro right here, Devin, don't you keep this football on the ground with Southeast only having 1 timeout and you are to receive the second half kickoff?
I think you have to feel pretty good if you're Hillsboro, even though you just gave up that score, being where you're at right now and knowing you have the football to start. Maybe they've seen some things they can work with. I think you're right. I think you just run this out and see where you're at. 16-6 is their score. The visiting Trojans from Hillsboro have a 2nd down and 9. Ball sitting on the 25-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield around quarterback Dawson Bolt. They go back to Weisbach, and he will string it out to the right-hand side and get a yard.
And Coach Gebhardt's going to use this last time out right here to stop the clock at 3rd down. They may talk about putting some time on the clock. I'm not sure, but they were watching it, trying to wave it down for 4 or 5 seconds.
This is their 3rd and final timeout for the Southeast Trojans. So really, if Hillsboro's just looking to run this clock out, all they'll have to do here is take a knee on 3rd down and 8. And Southeast of Saline won't be able to stop it. Stick with us as we hit the intermission break. Russ will have words from Mitch Gebhardt.
They're going to put 34. They want 34 seconds on the clock. So if you can get this play down early, well, still it'll reset to 40. So really, if you're Hillsboro, you're still fine where it's at.
Yes, sir. Get no timeouts remaining here for Southeast of Saline. Just 1 remaining for Hillsboro. And Hillsboro's faced with a 3rd down and 8 after they've got a yard on their first 2 carries of this drive.
3rd and 8 for the Hillsboro Trojans. Ball around 25 yards.
Hillsboro's everybody in tight here. 2 wingbacks, 1 big fullback with Weisbach. Send a guy in motion. It's a sweep. Plenert has it, looking for some space. Landon Allen with the first contact, and he'll take down Wyatt Plenert at the 30-yard line after a gain of 3.
On the stop, number 7, Landon Allen.
9 carries, 37 yards so far in the first half for Plennert. And that will probably be the last play of this half, as it looks like Hillsboro is content with letting the clock run out. 8 seconds left, still running. Only Hillsboro can stop the clock, and this should take us down to the intermission. So really the story of this first half, Hillsboro has done some nice things. They don't necessarily look like a one-win team as they come in at 1-4. Southeast of Saline, though, has helped them out tremendously with 2 interceptions and also a fumble. One of those turnovers came deep in Southeast of Saline's own territory and gave Hillsboro the ball at about the 10. So Russ is awaiting the arrival of Mitch Gebhardt to talk about the first half of action before he heads to the locker room. Let's go down the field.
Coach, 16-6 into the first half, your thoughts?
Well, we turned the ball over. We didn't turn the ball over. I think it's a little different. We're probably fortunate to be up 16-6, honestly. I think our defense has been playing well.
Yeah, defense playing lights out. They had to stand down there at the goal line. Almost had to. Gave up that one pass, but adjustments you need to make, obviously, hold on to the football, but is that it?
I think if we hold on the football, we can move it. Yeah, I think that's a huge key. Can't keep giving them extra times with the ball. So, yeah.
All right, good luck second half, Coach.
Pretty simple on the field. There's Mitch Gebhardt as he heads to the locker room at halftime. When we come back, we will talk Southeast of Saline cross country. It's on the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report. We'll have Wade Castleman join us at the break. Right now, Southeast of Saline leads it over Hillsboro 16-6 here on KINA.
Good evening, everyone. This is Shelby Dixon reporting live for Elite Sports Zombie Expedition ESZE, Channel 23. We are here at Elite Sports, just right south of Salina, in between Old Highway 81 and I-135. There is currently a zombie apocalypse occurring where the infected are trying to eat human flesh. We are currently right outside the quarantine zone, but I'm going to send you inside the quarantine zone to Sergeant Carter.
This is Sergeant Carter. We set up a perimeter to help contain the infected, but we need your help. They are multiplying by the minute. We have trailers with semi-automatic weapons equipped to take down these zombies. If you can pull the trigger, I don't care how old you are, if you can pull the trigger, please come out here and roll to be a zombie hunter and help us.
Report. Coming up, a first half recap, stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Let's head back to the stadium for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
Trojans at the break, and it's time now to talk Southeast of Saline cross country with our friend Wade Castleman. It's brought to you by Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com. You know, if you're going to buy or sell, call Winnell. And, Coach, last week we were not able to talk to you. We featured the volleyball team as they are playing very good volleyball as of late. So now this week we come back to you, and we go back a little bit in time as we go back to the future in our time machine. And you had a match that we did not talk about, a meet that you had at Halstead. Went into Dragon Country. How'd that work out for you?
It went really well. The kids, it was a beautiful day. We went down to Halstead, ran on their golf course. Our boys came away victorious, won the meet, and our girls came away victorious.
Let's feature the ladies first. Who ran well for you in Southeast of Saline's ladies side?
Abby Comerford was our number 1 runner that day, and Brecken Alderson was our number 3, and Ashley Prohaska was our number 3 that day.
Okay, on the boys?
Levi Allen and Damian Jackson were our 1-2 punch. And then the Walker brothers were our 3-4 runner, and Jacob Bircher was number 5 for us.
So a big day for you at Halstead. Of course, you said the weather was pretty fantastic that day, if I remember. We're starting to change the seasons, and it always intrigues me to talk to you about weather and things like that. We're seeing really the first wet field in football that we've had so far this season, and that's creating a little bit of havoc with Southeast of Saline's offense. When the weather starts to change in cross country, what's really the biggest thing that you want your kids to focus on?
The big thing is, making sure we get warmed up properly before we race, and just taking care of our bodies, and, getting mentally prepared. It may be 37 degrees or 40 degrees out as opposed to 85, 90 degrees. And, that mindset, you just got to get prepared for that and be ready for any type of weather.
If it's cold outside, I'm probably not even going to run from the boogeyman. I'll be honest with you. So you probably have some of those kids, though. I mean, I see them out even sometimes during the off season where you guys aren't even in. And, you might get a nice day during basketball season or something like that where it might be 40, 45. And I see some of your kids out running. So, obviously, they embrace that.
They really do. A lot of them have said, Coach, we can't wait for the cooler weather. This morning we had our morning practice, our Friday morning practice, and they're like, "Oh, Coach, it's cold." And then after they warmed up and everything, they're like, "Okay, this is great." And I said, "Well, be prepared because Saturday at Riley County it could be exactly like this."
So that is your next outing. It will be tomorrow, just north at Riley County. And this is a meet that seems like a staple on your schedule. You've been going there pretty consistently. What do you expect when you go to Riley County?
It's a fast course. It's a challenging course, but we get to see teams that we haven't seen pretty much most of the year. The team that we're looking forward to on the guys' side to see tomorrow is Council Grove. They've got a very good young man. We actually go to the Council Grove regional this year, so it's good for us to get to see some different people and see where we're at.
You also told me postseason is not that far away, so this Riley County meet is really a brush-up for you as you're not that far away from your league meet, are you?
No, we're not. So, tomorrow is our last regular season meet, and then we start the championship portion of our season. We have the Lakeside Invitational /NCAA League meet next week at Downs.
What's your schedule like tomorrow if folks are wanting to come up and support the Trojans?
10 o'clock, we start with junior high races, and actually there's some little kid races, I think, that start at 9 o'clock. So if some of our kids have siblings that want to run that aren't in cross country, they have races for them, and then at 9 or 10 o'clock they start with the junior high races, followed by they're running all of the high school girls together and then all of the high school boys together tomorrow.
And looking at the weather forecast tomorrow, it should be a beautiful day to be out.
It should be a great day tomorrow.
Good luck at Riley County. Can't wait to talk to you about it.
All right, sounds great. Thanks.
Wade Castleman, he's the head coach of Southeast of Saline's cross-country teams. They're brushing up, looking around the corner a little bit to postseason as they go to Riley County tomorrow for a big meet there in Falcon Country. Here at halftime of the football game, it is 16-6. Southeast of Saline, they lead it by 10. We'll be back, take a check of stats of the first half and also scores on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard after this. Here it's halftime on KINA.
Frisbee Construction is a service organization for the commercial grain industry dedicated to giving you the best in planning, the best in quality, and the best of workmanship and overall the best value for your dollar since 1949. Frisbee Construction specializes in new construction as well as remodel and repair of grain handling facilities throughout the Midwest. Frisbee Construction Company in Gypsum has emergency crews available as needed. For more information, go to frisbeeinc.com.
Don't get caught on empty. Fill up on all your basic needs at Asaria Oil and Hardware. We want to be sure you are fueled up and ready for whatever may be around the corner, no matter what time of day. Now live at Asaria Oil and Hardware, 24/7 pumps. No matter what time of day or night, your gas and diesel tanks can rely on us. During regular business hours, you can get your favorite pizza and snacks to have enough energy to win the day. Asaria Oil and Hardware, located in Asaria at the corner of Center and Main. We'll fill you up.
Kansas Wesleyan University is proud to offer bachelor's degrees in criminal justice and emergency management with both programs available on campus and online. Graduates have gone on to positions in the Secret Service, various police departments, the Kansas Court of Appeals, and to serve as county officials right here in the Sunflower State. Want to know more? Visit kwu.edu today. That's kwu.edu.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Our physicians include sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with orthopedic surgeons Drs. Travis Rump and Todd Riley, plus an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists. We are ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here at halftime on the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report, going through first half stats, and really not a bright, shiny game for either side on offense. When we look at the stats, brought to you by Citizen State Bank in downtown Gypsum, Hillsboro Trojans so far throwing the football for Dawson Bolt 5 out of 9. He has 43 yards and a touchdown, and he has scattered the football out to 4 different receivers. Rushing the football, Wyatt Plenert, 9 carries, 37 yards. And that's really all for positive yardage. Anders Weisbeck has lost a couple of yards, and then on quarterback sacks, Dawson Bolt has lost almost 40 yards. For Southeast of Saline, throwing the football, Luke Gebhardt, 8 of 14, 90 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. His leading targets so far, Landon Allen with 3 catches for 25, Jake Gebhardt with 3 catches for 34. Rushing the football, Luke Gebhardt, 8 carries, 42 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nate Friesen, 7 carries, 34 yards. Totals at half for Hillsboro, -2 rushing, 43 passing, total of 41 total yards. For Southeast of Saline, 63 yards rushing, 90 yards passing, a total of 153. When we come back after this 3-minute timeout, we will check scores on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. It's after this break. We're at halftime. Southeast of Saline leads Hillsboro 16-6 here on KINA.
Citizens State Bank has been serving Kansas for over 100 years. We are a full-service bank that can service your personal, business, and agricultural lending and deposit needs. Citizens State Bank offers 24/7 convenience with mobile deposit, online banking, and our ATM conveniently located in front of the building. Stop by and see our friendly and helpful staff. Citizens State Bank at 600 Maple Street in Gypsum, Kansas. Citizens State Bank and Trust Company is a proud supporter of the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Saline is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
This is Tammy Bedreau at the Bank of Tesket. If you're looking to purchase your new home in the near future, I want you to know we offer a variety of loan options to finance your home purchase. I would love an opportunity to be your lender. Give me a call or stop in today to learn more. We are local lenders making local decisions. The Bank of Tesket, committed to those we serve. MLS number 712440. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Stardust Trophy Downtown Salina has all the cool football medals and trophies your team needs for its players when their practice session pays off in big wins. Choose from tons of trophy styles and customize it exactly as you want. Stardust Trophy even has special trophies just for fantasy football leagues. Just for fun, choose football bobblehead trophies. Got an autographed or special football? Show it off in a special acrylic showcase from Stardust Trophy. 121 South Santa Fe, downtown Salina.
I can't believe I got rear-ended.
Hey, don't sweat it, Brian. Even the best drivers have a crash from time to time. That's why we have our collision center. We're a direct repair facility, which means no long waits from your insurance company. Our factory-certified technicians can handle all makes and models in our fully equipped body shop. When you bring your vehicle into us, it'll be like your crash never happened. Come on over to Home Automotive Collision Center. You'll be glad you did.
The Appliance Center. It's where you go to shop for washers, dryers, kitchen appliances, furniture, pellet grills, TVs, and so much more. If you are looking for a local, family-owned business, visit the Appliance Center. We're in the big red and white building on South Broadway in Salina. Come experience the Appliance Center difference.
To Coach Gebhardt, the players, coaches, and fans, let's make this a Football Friday to remember. Roselawn Memorial Park wishes you success this season. For more information, visit RoselawnSalina.com.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Back here on the Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report, some scores as we check the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Heston leads Clearwater 42-0. Andale leads Wichita Collegiate. Get this, 35-0. Andale over Collegiate, and that game being played in Wichita. Clay Center leading Concordia 28-0. Kingman, a team of interest in Class 2A. I know head coach Mitch Gebhardt has a side eye on Kingman. The Eagles right now leading Chaparral 21-0. Wamego in Class 4A, the NCKL Red Raiders leading Shawnee Heights 21-0. Hoisington leading Lakin 34-0. The Greenbacks of Pratt leading Smoky Valley 24-14. How about this one? Russell leading Ellsworth. The undefeated Bearcats trailing Russell by 1 at the half, 7-6. And a battle of really good 5A schools. Derby right now leading Mays 34-15. Both teams are back out onto the field as we are preparing for third quarter action. Let's take a timeout. Third quarter action right around the corner. It's the Trojans of Hillsboro and the Trojans of Southeast of Saline here on KINA.
Zombie Paintball Expedition south of Salina is unlike any other haunted attraction you visited. A typical haunted house has people jump out and scare you, but we put you in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. Yes, a zombie apocalypse where you have to fight off real live zombies. Think of it like a video game where you get to hunt zombies. Every zombie hunter will start with approximately 100 flesh-eating ammo balls. But trust us, you're going to want extra ammo. Friday and Saturday nights in October. For more information, visit zombieexpedition.com.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of two types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialists will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
Troublesome car repair? Everyone has told you it cannot be fixed or it's way too expensive? Try McKim Auto Service in Gypsum, Kansas. They do quick, dependable work and provide the lowest hourly rate in the area. McKim Auto will service your vehicle from front to back and everything in between. They treat you and your car like a friend or even family. McKim Service specializes in engine and transmission rebuild. 701 Maple, Gypsum, Kansas. Wouldn't trust anyone else with my family car. So, if your repair seems grim, remember McKim. Give them a call today to make your appointment.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See me, Kelly Kitchener, at our brand new location, 1809 South Ohio in Salina.
The Southeast of Saline School District has a long-standing reputation for excellence. This excellence in public education has been a source of great pride and one of the factors contributing to the quality of life in our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation works in partnership with the USD 306 School District and the community that it serves to maximize student potential, thereby creating a lasting legacy, not only for our children, but for our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation salutes the Trojans sports program.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here at Steve Fritz Field, campus of Southeast of Saline High School. It's homecoming, and Southeast of Saline did what they could to polish up the performance in the first half there at the end, scoring. And it is 16-6 here at halftime. Luke Gebhardt has a couple of one-yard touchdown runs. One of them came on the opening drive. The other one came on the final drive of the first half. In between, there were 3 turnovers for Southeast of Saline. And really one of the key plays, I think, in this game, Russ, it was second quarter with 8:57 left to go. Hillsboro got a Southeast of Saline turnover gifted to them at the 10-yard line. They were able to have first and goal at the 1, and 4 straight plays. Hillsboro could not score. They threw a pass into the end zone, and it was dropped on 4th and goal from the 1. They score there, this could be a very different ball game. But right now, as I said, I think this game is raising eyebrows around the state, as it is just a 10-point Southeast lead at the intermission. And Hillsboro gets the football here to start second half.
Yeah, and you talked about that drive, and that was almost a gift to the defense because that was a touchdown. I mean, he was wide open in the end zone, maybe a little behind a little bit, but still had two hands on it. And then you go around and say Southeast kind of starting to put a drive together. They get third down and long and get a wide open Tucker Thaxton in the middle of the field, and he does the exact same thing and drops it. So, I mean, you got to hold on to the football in the second half.
Southeast ready to go. Wyatt Boyd checks over his coverage team. 16-6, Southeast of Saline will try to protect their 10-point lead as the ball goes up in the air. Wyatt Plintert will take it to the 21-yard line. He angles left to the 25, looking for a crease. He is drugged down from behind, and then a Trojan hits him in the front. Evan Watkins, Jace Van Amberg will take Plintert down at the 30-yard line. So Dawson Bolton, this Hillsboro offense, back out onto the field.
Yeah, and I think if you're the Southeast defense, you got to be holding your head up high going into the locker room. You stop them on a goal line stand, You all but stop them on a goal line stand going down, and you give up 6 points, and your offense has only put up 16. So the guys are going to be tired because a lot of them go both ways.
From the 30, it's first down and 10. A receiver on each side. Pistol formation this time for Hillsboro. Bolt, pump fake, wants to go deep. Testing this defense for Southeast, and they're going to draw up a long pass play all the way down on the other side of the field at about the 37-yard line. It's Nicholas Smith.
Yeah, and Jake Gebhardt on the corner kind of bought on the pump fake. That was a great play call design as they took the tight end and kind of backed him up, kind of set up a screen, a pump fake. Jake took one step, and that was all it took, and he was beat down the sideline.
2 catches. Actually, let's make that 3 catches now for Nicholas Smith. 41 yards. Here's a run. Left tackle. Nothing there for Wyatt Plinter.
Yeah, and a great job right there once again by the run defense of the guys up front. Trevor Keller, Josiah Monday, Slade Johnson. We talked about him there at the end of the second half, but we probably haven't given Slade Johnson enough credit. He's been
absolutely
there up front every play in the backfield. Trevor Keller and Josiah Monday, too. We talked about Josiah earlier in the year, but the other two doing just as great a job.
Here's the snap back to Dawson Bolt, second down and 11, and he will pass it to the right-hand side, looking for Seth Driggers once again. Driggers had one of those interceptions in the first half, also had a catch on offense. Third down and 11 now coming up for Hillsboro.
Yeah, a little outside blitz right there by Landon Allen. Did a great job of getting by the running back, faking him out, and getting a shot on Dawson Bolt.
Third down and 11. Football sitting back at the 39-yard line. If you're wanting to watch this contest, live stream video looks fantastic. SalinaPost.com, brought to you by New Image Audio. And our friend Brian Dennett up on the roof. Good job, Brian. 2 receivers on each side, a little bubble screen out to the left, and it will be dropped by tight end Jacob Thiessen out there on the left-hand side. That'll bring up now 4th and 11. So after the first play of the second half, goes down the field for 37 yards. Hillsboro comes up on their next 3 plays, losing a yard total.
Yeah, go back to the first start of the game. They gain 11 yards on the first play of the game and then lose 16 yards on the next 3 plays. So if you can get that first play out of the way, I think you're all right.
Michael Murray and Luke Gebhardt standing back at their own 10-yard line. Low snap here, but Weichert gets it out. Here's Gebhardt coming up. Luke calling for a fair catch, and he is going to have it just inside the 20, I believe, as the nose of the football sitting there at the chalk of the 20. Once again, Southeast defense doing their job.
Yeah, and really they've done their job all year long. You know, your offense has been rolling coming in to tonight. Really, you know, last week kind of a stumble with the picks, the scoreboard a little lopsided, but you have to get a drive together and finish them.
Pistol formation, Friesen directly behind Luke Gebhardt. Friesen will take the carry. Blast through the line of scrimmage, gets hit by Hillsboro Trojan, and he'll gain 2 yards. 8 carries so far for Nate Friesen.
And a much better job up front by the Hillsboro Trojans to kind of clog that line of scrimmage for really the first time all night on a run play.
Out to the 22-yard line. Second down and 8. 2 wide receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Landon Allen in tight for Southeast. Here's Gebhardt, play action to Friesen. When he go deep down the field, he's going to overthrow Jacob Gebhardt between the 45 and the 50-yard lines. 3rd and 8 coming up after the incomplete pass. So far, Luke Gebhardt in this game, 8 of 15 throwing the football.
Yeah, that was a great route ran by Jake right there on the side of the field. He ran about 10 yards, cut it out, and then stepped it right back up the field on a little bit of a chair route over to the sideline and then up the field. And I think if Luke could have lobbed it up there a little bit more to give Jake an opportunity to make that catch, it would have been a different result.
Southeast, a big down for them here. 3rd down and 8. They will stack 4 wide receivers to the right-hand side. Luke Gebhardt rolling out that way, has that ball ready to go, and there's Landon Allen right outside of the hash. He'll catch it at the 30, turn and fall down for another 3 yards. It's a gain of 11. Gebhardt to Landon Allen.
And Landon Allen on that play was backpedaling, got the ball, secured it, and didn't even turn around to take off running just to make sure he was able to hold on to the football.
That is a pretty trusty play from reliable number 7 right there. Here's the end-around fake to Friesen. Gebhardt will take it up the middle, 35-40, stretches it outside 45, cuts it back in, across midfield, and piled up at the Hillsboro 46-yard line. 20 yards for Luke Gebhardt on first down.
And a great job by the offensive line. Everybody falling for that play fake to Friesen, and the offensive line did a great job of clearing a wide-open hole for Luke.
Luke now 9 carries, 62 yards. That's his longest carry so far of the night. Wants another one here into the second level. 40, 35, cuts back against the Hillsboro player down to the 29. 2 big chunk plays by Luke Gebhardt. This one goes for 17.
And he needs to come back and slap number 3 on the helmet right there. Nate Friesen did a great job on that on the lead block.
Inside the 30 to the 29. Southeast trying to stretch it now. Murray looking to the right-hand side. A flag flies. Murray gets out of a couple Hillsboro tackles and makes his way to the 20-yard line, but of course we'll have to check the laundry.
Yeah, I think you're going to have a bad block right there. You might have had 2, and one of them just got caught there late. I think you had a bad block, maybe a hole on the outside. And they are going to get a block in the back. And that'll be from 15 yards from the spot of the foul, and they're throwing that flag clear back at the line of scrimmage.
Fortunate thing for Southeast is it's going to remain first down, so it'll give them some time as far as downs to try to recover this. That is a huge penalty. Yeah, You're probably better off just going over and tying the referee's shoes together and walking off.
Yeah, I mean, you got second down and short to now first down and 20.
First down at the 40-yard line. Gebhardt throws a lob pass to Allen at the 35, and he's going to catch it and then fall ahead to the 28. What a play there.
Yeah, and a great route.
To the 18.
And a great route by Landon Allen to find the open space, allowing Luke to kind of lob that one up in the air. Much easier to catch on a wet night, so a great job.
Landon Allen coming up big here in this half. That one was 28 yards. Here's Gebhardt negotiating his way through. He's going to end up in the end zone, but a flag down in the offensive backfield. And we have a Trojan holding their right knee right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and I think they're going to get Landon Allen maybe right here on a hold as the ref threw the flag, and then Landon turned around and looked right back at him. And this may be nothing, may not, but center Nathan Weller coming off the field slow and taking a seat down, so you will have a new center coming into the game to snap a ball.
Is that Brody Chambers?
That is exactly who that is.
He may slide one way.
They may bring Caden Isaacson.
And Caden Isaacson's going to go the other way. And those two are going to do that little switcheroo thing. Brody's going to end up the left guard, and Caden will be the center as he will reach down and grab that football. So he has Chambers on the left, Chambers on the right at the guard spots. Isaacson snaps it back. Perfect snap to Luke Gebhardt. He rolls out, throws it on a rope out to the 20. Now going down the right-hand sideline is going to be Jake Gebhardt.
Yeah, you've had enough yards in the last 2 plays to score a touchdown from the last 3 spots you've been on the field. On first down, you got to watch, keep the laundry off the field and keep it clean, but a great job of bouncing back to make it second and manageable.
It's at the 11-yard line. That one went for 17 yards. Here's Luke. Little play action on the run. Straight up the middle. Step cuts and 5. Now twist, turns, gets into the end zone. Touchdown Southeast. Luke Gebhardt has scored on a rushing touchdown for the 3rd time tonight, and it's 22-6 Southeast.
Yeah, and a great job by Caden Isaacson. That is a tough position to come in, and I know we talk about Caden a lot. He's one of the leaders of this team, but coming in fresh and snapping a football on a wet night and then going out there and making the block just is extremely, extremely good.
Here's the reverse, and it's going to be to the speedster Murray, and he's just going to put it on roller skates and coast in over here on the left-hand side. 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions for Southeast of Saline with 8:06 left to go here in the third quarter. Southeast of Saline up 24-6 as you listen to it and watch it on SalinaPost.com. Southeast has a lead 24-6 on KINA.
Are you looking for a local brokerage firm to help with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities? L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Roach, right off Crawford, and their second location in the Central Mall in Salina, and a new location in McPherson, based on honesty and trust. Contact L&L Advisors today.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
A very Southeast-like exchange there to start the second half. They stop Hillsboro after just one positive play to start the second half, and then Southeast of Saline goes down the field. A lot of passing, a lot of running. It ends up being capped by Luke Gebhardt, 11-yard touchdown run. Here is the kick by Wyatt Boyd. Bounces at the 30. Wyatt Plenner will take it at the 27, and he will negotiate his way out to the 35-yard line, where the Hillsboro Trojans will take over from there.
I think if you're the defense, you just keep doing what you're doing. They're keeping Hillsboro out of the end zone. They've been put at adversity late in the first half and hadn't held up. Keep the negative yard plays coming.
Nathan Weller being checked on by the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine trainers. He has a couple of offensive lineman friends over there checking on him. Nathan Weller is not a primary on defense. He rotates every now and then for Southeast of Saline, but this should not affect their defense as far as the first team out there right now for Southeast, as a procedure penalty will be whistled here against Hillsboro on their first down play. Now it'll be 1st and 15 as it backs them up to the 30-yard line.
An update from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. 7:41 left to go in the third quarter. Russell 7, Ellsworth 12.
So Ellsworth has scored. Here comes Caden Isaacson showing blitz. He buries the Hillsboro offensive lineman. He's going to bury the quarterback. Dawson Bolt was a victim that time of Caden Isaacson, who came on the rush, took a Hillsboro offensive lineman, and just buried him for the Salina Pain Clinic hit of the game.
Yeah, just an excellent job right there. Just steamrolled the would-be blocker, stepped right over top of him, and then finished the play off for a sack.
Back to the 20-yard line. A loss of 10. They have lost, Hillsboro has, 47 yards and 5 quarterback sacks tonight. Southeast had 9 sacks coming into the game. And you could see Caden Isaacson running that one from the very beginning. Here's Bolt in trouble again, and he's going to be taken down once again. This time it's by the nose guard, and it's another Manic Monday as Josiah Monday comes in for the quarterback sack. That's number 6 for this Trojan defense.
Yeah, and he hasn't been able to get back to the quarterback, but he is causing 2 guys to block him, which is freeing up everybody else from the secondary. So a great job by Josiah right there to get through the line and tackle the running back for a loss, which brings up 3rd, and they're back at about Gypsum right now.
They are on the edge of North Salina. They're out there by the truck stop. Here's Bolt wanting to throw. Unleashes it down the right-hand side. Jake Gebhardt with a pick. It's going to be another interception for Jake Gebhardt as he caught that one Willie May style. Basket over his shoulder like he was the intended receiver on the play. So Gebhardt will take away that interception. And for brother Jake, that is his 3rd interception of the season.
Yeah, and a spark right there to get that turnover ratio back a little bit towards the even mark, as now the turnover battle is now 3-1. So maybe this will be a spark for this Southeast offense that they needed. One big play, I guess you could call it, for the defense, who's played lights out all night.
Southeast will take over at the 50-yard line where Jake Gebhardt took that interception away. Well, that was a beautiful catch with a wet ball by Jake Gebhardt. A stack of receivers now over on the right-hand side, and Hillsboro's going to jump off sides for another 5 yards. This one will be in the credit to Southeast of Saline's offense, who will go ahead to the 45-yard line. Still rolling here with Isaacson as center. Weller over here giving it a shot as he cuts and bobs and weaves between the 30 and 40 on the sideline. Right now, Isaacson going with Chambers on the left, Chambers on the right. Here is Brody pulling over to the right-hand side as the screen pass goes to Michael Murray. Murray breaks a tackle. Now he gets to the 35, and there's a flag down. 2 flags down in the right hash to Hillsboro sideline.
Yeah, the cornerback kind of broke on Cameron Whitty over there and just not able to get his hands in front as it was a clear block in the back on that one.
We haven't seen penalties affect Southeast of Saline that much tonight. What's affected them has been the turnovers, 3 of them in the first half, but penalties they've been able to overcome.
Yeah, another setup for another 1st and long here where when it's 1st and 10-plus yardage, they're averaging probably 14, 15 yards of play on 1st down.
They're back on the other side of the 50-yard line at the 44, their own 44. 1st down and 15, as you said. 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Here's Luke Gebhardt. Takes a couple of steps back. Now he's going to find Landon Allen on the slip. Landon will take it across the 50 and get to the 46 in Hillsboro territory. That'll be a gain of 9. Luke Gebhardt to Landon Allen.
Yeah, and Landon kind of went down awkwardly right there. His legs he was tackled high, and his legs kind of got wrapped up underneath as it looks like Landon is going to check out of the game.
Evan Watkins coming in for him. Yeah, he's kind of holding that hamstring, upper quad. It was an awkward deal. It really was when he came down there. So he's going to take a seat over here. Trainer wearing a Denver Broncos hat. That's a bold move after last night. Here's Michael Murray now in traffic. Cuts through into the second level. Has a Southeast 1st down and brought down at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, that's not the trainer. The trainer's still working on Weller over here.
Apologize.
So take a seat, and you'll be next in line when I'm done with this one.
Still a Broncos hat. I don't know about that. That was a gain of 10 there for Southeast of Saline. Michael Murray. Here's Gebhardt now rolling out. He's going to find Murray in the crease at the 15, and he's going to go ahead to the 11. Murray and Gebhardt going to work here.
Yeah, and Murray did a great route right there. He was fading towards the sideline, saw the defense floating that way, and just kind of stopped and stood right there and kind of walked back to the middle of the field where he came open, and Gebhardt was able to find him. A gain of about 13 yards.
They're going to put this just outside of the 10 at the 11-yard line. So Southeast can still get a 1st down. 1st and 10 here from the 11. Here's the fake to Murray. Gebhardt keeps it. Luke looking for a free pass, and he's going to score easily. 4 rushing touchdowns on the night. But hold the phone. There's a flag on the play.
Yeah, and it might be a hold, or it is going to be a hold, but it was not a hold on Trevor Keller as he did a phenomenal job of running down the field, finding a guy, and just absolutely lifting him about a foot off the ground and driving him straight down. So I'm not sure who that was on, but Trevor Keller did a great job on that pull from right there coming around and leading the way.
So Southeast keeps taking 2 steps back, but 3 steps forward.
It sets up another 1st down and 10+.
Again, there's a 1st down marker, a yard outside of the goal line at the 1. Right now, Southeast of Saline has the ball at the 20. Where it is 1st and 20. Gebhardt holds it on the play action. 2 Hillsboro players bearing down. Now there's 3 and 4, and too many to get away from as Luke Gebhardt will take it to the 19 and back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and one of the few times that Hillsboro's been able to get in the backfield quick off of this stout offensive line to bring up 2nd and long.
2nd down and 20. As we work our way through this 3rd quarter, now 4 minutes left to go here in the 3rd. It's been all Southeast of Saline here in this 2nd half. It's 24-6. This game at one point was 8-6. Empty backfield here for Luke Gebhardt. 2 wide receivers on each side. Now Friesen will go in motion. The fake on the jet sweep to Friesen. Luke will keep it. He will get to the 15-yard line before he is stacked up and then thrown backwards by half of the Hillsboro defense. Gain of 5.
Yeah, and even after these few penalties down here, still inside the Can-Equip red zone. So a 3rd and long here, you still can get a 1st down, but I think it may be by about the length of the football you can get a 1st down.
Right now looking to knock off a 3rd and 15. Probably got to know you have 2 plays here to do it, right?
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. You're going to have 2 plays, so you don't have to get it all back at once. Just get a chunk yardage play back.
3 receivers stacked on the right-hand side. Gebhardt wants to roll that way. Now he's going to stop. Wanted to throw back. It's not there. Now he's going to tuck it and run. Luke into the second level, and he will get all the way down to about the 7-yard line on a gain of 8. He got a little more than half of it.
Yeah, and a good chunk of it back, knowing, and maybe that was good for Luke. You know, he's rolling around trying to find somebody. Just tuck the football instead of trying to make a play on a night like this and just get what you can.
3 rushing touchdowns so far for Luke Gebhardt, and a lot of them have come on plays like that. It's 4th down now with the football sitting at the 7-yard line. Got 8 on that last carry. Now it's 4th down. 4th down and 6. 2 receivers to the left. Gebhardt fakes it to Friesen. Now he's running out to the left, takes on a couple of Hillsboro defenders, and he's going to be stopped at the 5 after a gain of 2, and that'll be a turnover on downs. 15 carries, 105 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns so far for Luke Gebhardt, and a turnover on downs here for Southeast of Saline.
Not sure exactly if that was a designed run as it was a fake as all the wide receivers running routes, but Luke, having pressure in his face, had to make the quick decision of what to do with the football right there.
And really not an ideal spot here for Hillsboro because they're going to be backed up with 95 yards in front of them. They have the footballs. They take over at their own 5-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Hillsboro Trojans, and we talked about it. Dawson Bolt's been sacked 6 times tonight, losing 51 yards. Pistol formation. Bolt will turn and give it to one of the running backs coming out of the backfield. There's not going to be much there for Hillsboro. Couldn't quite see who that was on the handoff. Might have been Wyatt Plennert.
Yeah, I think that's who it was, getting up late off the pile. But once again, the front 3 just clogging that line of scrimmage and really nowhere to go this whole game.
No gain on the plane there by Plennert. He has 36 yards on 11 carries. Came in as Hillsboro's leading rusher. Not a lot of rushing yards, though, for Hillsboro this season through their first 5 games. They'll spread it out this time. Plennert will stay in the backfield. Actually, no, that's the big back. That is Anders Weisbeck. And Weisbeck will get positive yards this time as he will knock off about 5 and bring up a 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, running through the first tackle that went in kind of high on him, and a guy the size of Weisbeck, you're not gonna bring him down up high. You got to go low on him.
3rd down and 5 now for the Hillsboro Trojans. Football sitting at the 10-yard line. Weisbeck, we talked about him when they kept handing it to him at the goal line. He's a big guy, 6 foot, 230 pounds, and he's just a sophomore. He will remain the lone setback in a 4 wide receiver formation. Here comes Mac Chambers on the blitz. Bolt has to get rid of it, and he throws it high and hot out to the left-hand side and incomplete. Hillsboro is now on 4th down.
I think if you're Hillsboro, you're going to have to punt the ball away here this far deep in your end zone. Yeah, it's 4th and less than 5, but inside your own 15, it's kind of a no-brainer. You're going to have to kick this one away.
Special teams units on both sides scurry onto the field. Luke Gebhardt, Michael Murray will retreat back, and they will stand between the Hillsboro 40 and 45-yard lines. They're not even back at midfield, as Weichert will have to punt this from his own goal line. It's a high, short kick. Gebhardt will take it at the 36. Has to sidestep a couple of Hillsboro defenders, and just numbers one out there for Hillsboro. Gebhardt was brought down at the 35-yard line. So even though a turnover on downs for Southeast of Saline on their last offensive possession, they have the field exchange really kind of flush out here, and really not in bad spot as they're going to start out and just inside of the Hillsboro 35-yard line.
Yeah, and I think if you are you turn it over on downs inside your own 10 or about to score, turn it over, knowing your defense is playing as well as they have, sacking the quarterback that many times for negative 47 yards.
Football a little closer to the 34 than the 35 when Southeast of Saline comes out. 1st down and 10 on this possession. Jake Gebhardt a solo to the right-hand side. Everybody else in tight on the short side of the field. Luke hands it off to Friesen. Friesen pitches it to Murray going the other way, and Michael Murray is going to be hit at the 41-yard line and dropped. 41-yard line is the spot where Michael Murray got stranded, and that is a loss of 7 on that play.
Yeah, that play just took a long time to develop. It seems like you handed it off. There was a little bit of a fumble exchange. Murray had to kind of pull the brakes back a little bit, never really got the full momentum.
Back to the 41. 2nd down and 16. Gebhardt looking to pass, now tucks it, takes it up the middle. He's bouncing off everybody wearing white, and he's going to end up inside of the 35, barely back at the original line of scrimmage, and that'll bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 4th quarter, around the corner, 24-6. Southeast of Saline leads it, and that is the end of 3. Southeast of Saline football brought to you by New Image Audio as you listen to it on KINA and watch it live stream video on SalinaPost.com.
Good evening, everyone. This is Shelby Dixon reporting live for Elite Sports Zombie Expedition ESZE, Channel 23. We are here at Elite Sports, just right south of Salina, in between Old Highway 81 and I-135. There is currently a zombie apocalypse occurring where the infected are trying to eat human flesh. We are currently right outside the quarantine zone, but I'm going to send you inside the quarantine zone to Sergeant Carter.
This is Sergeant Carter. We set up a perimeter to help contain the infected, but we need your help. They are multiplying by the minute. We have trailers with semi-automatic weapons equipped to take down these zombies. If you can pull the trigger, I don't care how old you are, if you can pull the trigger, please come out here and roll to be a zombie hunter and help us.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
After the game tonight, every Friday night, keep it tuned right here to KINA. We'll have the Kansas Information Network High School Football Scoreboard Show. It is scores and game wraps from across the state of Kansas from 10 until 11 o'clock. It's every Friday night here on KINA, and it's brought to you by Salina Surgical Hospital and Home Automotive Centers in Abilene and Salina. 3rd down and 11 for Southeast of Saline from the 35-yard line. They are in Hillsboro territory, leading 24-6 as we start the 4th quarter. A stack of 2 receivers to the right-hand side. Gebhardt with Landon Allen in tight. Gebhardt looking that way, throws back to Friesen. He catches it 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now look out. Friesen at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and brought down inside of the 10-yard line. Nathan Friesen. He doesn't catch many passes, but when he does, it looks exactly like that. He has some wheels, and he gets brought down inside the 10.
And that play being set up all night. Roll out, going down the field. They roll out, run 3 wide receivers down the field. Release the offensive lineman. You throw it behind the line of scrimmage so you don't get offensive linemen downfield, and a great play call.
27 yards to Nate Friesen. 1st down and goal. Luke Gebhardt starts out left, comes back right. Touchdown from 8 yards out. Luke Gebhardt has his 4th rushing touchdown of the night and unofficially 120 yards as Southeast of Saline extends their lead to 30-6.
And in the first 5 games of the year, Luke had 5 rushing touchdowns, and now he's got 4 on the night, giving him 9 on the year. So, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The offensive line does a great job at that quarterback draw play, allowing Luke to get to the 2nd level.
1 yard, 1 yard, 11 yards, 8 yards now. Luke Gebhardt on the touchdown runs.
Yeah, Luke Gebhardt, just another play, just a design run right there. A little play fake to Nate Friesen. 1 step, run right up the middle, goes untouched into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
32-6 our score. Southeast of Saline starting to put it on the Hillsboro Trojans. It's taken a little while to get here as Hillsboro showed up ready to go tonight, but now Southeast has a lead 32-6 as we are just underway 4th quarter as you listen to it here on KINA.
Frisbee Construction is a service organization for the commercial grain industry dedicated to giving you the best in planning, the best in quality, and the best of workmanship and overall the best value for your dollar since 1949. Frisbee Construction specializes in new construction as well as remodel and repair of grain handling facilities throughout the Midwest. Frisbee Construction Company in Gypsum has emergency crews available as needed. For more information, go to frisbeeinc.com.
Work hard, play hard. Good luck, Trojans, from Roselawn Memorial Park in Salina. To learn more, visit roselawnsalina.com.
Southeast of Saline with another rushing touchdown from Luke Gebhardt. That is 4 on the night. Now they're ready to kick it away to the Hillsboro Trojans. Wyatt Boyd puts a high kick that hangs in the air, and it's fumbled by Hillsboro. They're trying to get on it, and they do at the 25-yard line. They just dodged a missile right there.
Yeah, and this is going to go back to when we were walking off the field at the end of the half, talking with Coach Mitch Gebhardt, and he says, we fumble the ball or we throw it to receiver, it bounces off our hands and they get it. Every time they drop the football, it seems to be round and bounce right back up to them. When we drop it, it's a triangle and goes all over the place.
So from the 25-yard line, Hillsboro will start out here. 32-6 is our score. A district game here for Southeast of Saline. So as we go through the fourth quarter, looking for that win, but you're also looking for that 21-point margin where you can max out at points. Here is a give to Wyatt Plintert. Plintert straight ahead. No gain on the play.
Yeah, great job right there. Josiah Monday double teamed once again, went to the ground, but as he's going to the ground, got an arm free and reached out and was able to slow him up as the buddies came over and finished him off. So once again, I talk about it a lot, but these front three do a phenomenal job on this defense.
Second down and 10 at the 25-yard line for Hillsboro. They will put a receiver out to the right-hand side, also one to the left. Everybody else in tight around the hashes, around quarterback Dawson Bolt. Bolt drops back to pass. Those protectors leave. Cameron Woody with a big hit, and that pass sails high and outside, out of bounds on the opposite Hillsboro sideline, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10. Woody in there quickly with a hit in the quarterback.
And Woody kind of running away from us, but you can almost see his eyes through the back of his head. They had to be as big as $50 as he got around there and had a free shot at the quarterback, got it away just in time.
Cameron Woody, you talk about him, he does have a quarterback sack this year. He has 3 tackles for loss, and he's just kind of that guy that, I say it all the time, you never know where 13 is going to be. He's just all over the place for this Trojan defense. 3rd down and 10 here for Hillsboro. Pistol formation, 2 wide receivers to the right. Bolt wants to go that way, goes over the middle of the field, and Luke Gebhardt nearly had his 3rd interception of the season to equal his twin brother. But that one a little high, and it went through the hands of Luke. Now Gebhardt will go back with Michael Murray to receive a Hillsboro punt offering.
And another drive stalls out with 3 plays and no yards.
Quickly 3 and out for Hillsboro. And all the momentum right now in this second half being owned by Southeast of Saline. Just a snap back to Weichert. He's going to punt it to Luke Gebhardt at the 45. Luke angles to the right, gets a block from Murray. 40 to the 35, flag on the play at the 30, and Gebhardt's return probably go all for naught, as now there is a second flag on the field. Back around the 45-yard line. One on one side of the 45, one on the other side of the 45, on opposite opposite sidelines.
Yeah, and I think you're probably going to have holding on both sides of the field, as Jake was over on the far side, really nowhere near the play, but trying to continue holding his block. And they might call a personal foul over there on Jake. I don't know if it's maybe because he was nowhere near the play, but you ask a kid to play to the whistle, he's going to play to the whistle.
Yeah, Jake throwing his hands up and talking to one of his teammates about that. Not really sure what happened there. They're going to have holding against Southeast of Saline and a personal foul against Southeast of Saline.
So you're going to mark both of those plays off? Or are they going to call one?
Sounded like the personal foul was a dead ball penalty. So Southeast is going to go all the way back to their own 30 here. But again, Russ, need I remind you, penalties have not been a problem tonight for Southeast as far as them being able to overcome them.
You want me to tell Mitch that you said that after the game?
Absolutely
okay. All right.
not.
Just wanted to make sure and clarify before I went down there.
They're a huge problem. Here's a give to Friesen. Friesen blasts through the original line of scrimmage. He now goes 35, 40, 45, and brought down there. 15 yards.
Now you got 2 guys, 1 offensive lineman. Can't tell who it is for Southeast and 1 Hillsboro. Their helmets are connected together right there as they get it apart. Wade Rutherford down there, just getting to know the guy he's been lined up against the whole night. Have a little conversation as their helmets get connected.
15 yards for Nathan Friesen. SES 51 yards on 9 carries. Football sitting at the 44. You can see the moisture on the grass as we're working our way through this fourth quarter. Back to Friesen. He has a high and tight on the right hand. Back into the secondary again and still running to the 35-yard line. That is a gain of 21 for Nathan Friesen.
He's got to get that average back up. He had a few 2-3 yard carries there in the first half coming in, averaging about 6 yards a carry. I got to get that up.
7.3 right now. From the 35 now in Hillsboro territory. Back to Friesen. Counter play back to the right, and he has 10. Nathan Friesen going to work here.
Yeah, and you wonder if he was – I want the ball in the first half, and we didn't see him carry the ball too much in the first half. So a great job right there by the offensive line to allow Friesen to hit the hole wide open.
Michael Murray out wide left. Jay Gebhardt out wide right. Back to Friesen. He gets hit at the line of scrimmage and still falls ahead for about 4 yards.
As it looks like another Southeast Saline lineman is down on the field. Oh, no, sorry, excuse me. It's Hillsboro Trojan down on the field.
It's a young man from Hillsboro. Looks like that's going to be Avery Nichols. Big senior, 250 pounds, as they will attend to him. 3 yards for Nathan Friesen, and Friesen able to take it just on the cusp of the can-equipped red zone at the 21-yard line. Doesn't look great for Avery Nichols right now, and we will take a 60-second timeout.
You're telling me your driver turns you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor is running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
Whether on the field, court, or in the operating room, experience matters. A coach loves an experienced team just like a patient values an experienced doctor. Salina Ortho has ABOS board-certified physicians with over 40 years of orthopedic service. If you need help staying active or just want to discuss options regarding the newest techniques and services and specialties that Salina Ortho provides, see one of our trusted physicians or visit salinaortho.com. Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back here to Steve Fritz Field, southeast of Saline High School. It is 32-6. Southeast of Saline still have an injured Hillsboro player down on the field as we check the Bennington State Bank scoreboard, Russ.
Yeah, as we go through, it looks like about 10 minutes ago, the last update in Concordia, Clay Center up 28-18. The last update from Russell, Ellsworth able to score again, so that made that score 18-6.
Other games, this is interesting. Holton all over Rossville, 42-10 tonight. Also Hayes leading Dodge City, 41-6. Hayes is good once again.
Yeah, got another final out of 2A. Hoisington wins 44-0, and that is their
Lakin tonight.
Yeah, their third shutout of the season.
Just kind of looking. Of course, do you want to catch up with any of this? Here's a little update. 2:27 left to go in the third. Ellsworth still leading Russell, 18-7. I think you've hit on that one a couple times. That's interesting. We talked about Ellsworth quite a bit. Coming into ninth, they're 5-0. They beat Beloit in week number 1, 14-6. And then they haven't given up any points since. Their defensive average is like 1.3 a game. But when you look at their schedule, they've played 2 teams that are in Class 1A. The cumulative schedule, if you take Beloit out of there, is like 4-16 of the other 4 teams that they've played. And things started to get a little tougher for them tonight. Russell came in at 3-2. Next week, Ellsworth will have to play Halstead in a district game. And then they will come in week number 8 here to play southeast of Saline. So things will be interesting for the Bearcats as this season rounds out here. But very, very much improved over last year when they were – I remember that game against Ellsworth last year at their place. It seemed like they had nothing but sophomores. I couldn't find more than maybe 3 seniors and juniors on that whole team. And the injured Hillsboro player is up. Does look like it is Avery Nichols, and he will get some help over to the sideline. Into the third quarter, Beloit leading Norton 20-0. Another interesting game there. Bishop Miege and St. Thomas Aquinas doing battle in the Kansas City area, and Miege leads that one over St. Thomas Aquinas 20-14 with 10 minutes left. Number 1 and number 2 in Class 4A. Southeast of Saline, back to the line of scrimmage here. 9:17 left to go in the fourth. It's 32-6. Southeast Trojans, they have the football, 2nd down and 8 at the Hillsboro 21-yard line. Pistol formation, Gebhardt has Friesen directly behind him. It's a high snap. He bounces it on the pitch off Friesen's shoulder pad, and Nate will have to cover that up, and it's back at the 32-yard line. They're going to lose 12 yards on that play.
Yeah, to bring up 3rd down and about 16, 17 yards to go. So a tough spot right there to lose that on 2nd down. Seems to be okay when they've lost it on 1st down, but this puts you in a big hole at 3rd down.
Back to the 32, where it's 3rd down and about 17. One receiver out wide each side. 2 running backs in the backfield, Allen and Friesen. Here's a slant route, and Michael Murray can't come up with that one as he was running towards the 20-yard line. It's incomplete. We'll see what the Trojans want to do here. Nothing moving over on the sidelines as far as maybe punt formation.
Yeah, and that might have been Luke's best ball he's thrown all night. Hit Murray right in stride. Both hands just unable to come up with it in the middle of the field.
That ball is just so tricky when it's wet. We can see, we've talked about a lot, just the moisture on the field. Here's Gebhardt back to throw, wants to go down the left hash, and he went to Murray. The ball was behind Michael Murray that time, and that one falls incomplete, and Hillsboro gets their defense off the field on 2 straight incomplete passes between Luke Gebhardt and Michael Murray. So Hillsboro will take over here. They will have it on a new drive starting at their own 32-yard line.
See if the defense for Southeast can make the stand once again that they've been called upon so many times this year.
How is it week 6 already?
Flown by.
How did we get here?
Well, we had game 1 where we were at home, and then we went on the road for 3.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's that. But 2 of your last 3 here at home.
And I think that's big. You want to go on the road in non-district and then have most of your district games at home.
The one district game on the road was at Halstead. Be another one next week at Lyons. Here's the pitch left-hand side, and a huge hit by Southeast of Saline over here on the edge. Slade Johnson led the way that time for the Southeast defense.
And Slade Johnson led the way with an offensive lineman that is just now getting up off the field. He drove the offensive lineman into the running back, and then the running back bounced back about 4 yards.
Whoa.
That was a collision on the near sideline.
Loss of 2 on the play for Hillsboro, back to the 30-yard line where it's now 2nd and 12.
Yeah, Slade just took Lane Rogers, the left tackle right there, for a little joyride.
2 receivers on each side. Now a timeout will be called by Hillsboro on their sideline. Head coach Demetrius Cox wants to talk about it. It's a 2nd and 12 for the Hillsboro Trojans from the 30 when we come back. 7:40 left to go here in the fourth quarter. It's 32-6. SES leading this one on KINA.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses acquire relief loans to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan football on KINA Sports.
Back here, southeast of Saline, trying to get this Hillsboro drive stopped and get the ball back for their offense so they can close this one out.
Yeah, and after we get this second down play, kind of an interesting score update. Maybe that doesn't concern, but kind of a crazy stat here after this play.
Dawson Bolt, 2 people in the backfield with him. He's going to roll out, use them as protectors. Has to get around Landon Allen, who came in to sack him. Now he's going to roll out to the left. Allen still chasing. Now Mac Chambers and Cameron Whitty closes the door. Whitty comes flying in from the secondary.
And you talked about it. We had a game earlier with Aquinas, and Aquinas trailed 20-0 against Miege, and Aquinas is now up 29-26.
Wow. Interesting game there, huh?
3:28 left.
Hillsboro lost 3 yards on that last play. Landon Allen, Cameron Whitty and company. Now they are back at their own 28-yard line. 3rd down and a flag, which will be a delay of game. Back him up to the 23. So things do not get easier here as far as down and distance for the Hillsboro Trojans.
Backs him up 5 yards. 3rd and 19.
3rd and 19 coming up. Line of scrimmage at the 23-yard line. Not a lot of plays in your playbook when you're an offense such as Hillsboro's to pick this up. They have had a couple big plays tonight, though. Remember, they led the second half with a 37-yard touchdown. Excuse me, not a touchdown pass, 37-yard pass. 4 wide receivers. They're going to hand it off on the delay, and this will net about 2 yards as the handoff went to Josiah Gooch.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to bring in the punt team once again as you try to run a draw play. I would say maybe to try to catch the defense off sides, but not ready for that. But the Southeast defense is ready for about anything.
Gebhardt and Murray back deep as they will stand between their own 40 and 45-yard lines. Here's Weichert with the punt. He doesn't want to punt to him. He's going to angle it to the left, and that ball will bounce over the 50 and then out of bounds at the southeast of Saline 47-yard line. If you're looking for Chiefs football on Sunday, you won't find it here on KINA. Instead, you will find playoff NASCAR racing. It's a cutoff race from the Roval in Charlotte. For non-racing people, that means there's a road course at Charlotte. They're not doing the oval. It's a road course. It's a lot of fun. It's a good race. A lot of tempers and a lot of tension. That'll be Sunday on KINA. Then Monday night football. Get to renew the rivalry between the Chiefs and the Raiders. Pregame is 6 o'clock here on KINA. That is Monday. Chiefs Kingdom will be on Tuesday. Here's Nate Friesen down the middle, stretches out to the outside. He's going to be inside of the Hillsboro 40-yard line as Friesen continues to bite off big chunks.
Yeah, great job right there by Friesen. He kind of stutter-stepped, just waited 1 second for that line to clear a hole, and it opened wide up as he's, once again, a big gain on first down.
Friesen is now over 100 yards. Here's a pass to the outside. Jake Gebhardt catches it at the 35, gets away from a Hillsboro tackler. Still running, stops, now gets inside the 20, and makes it all the way to the 17-yard line. Whoa, that was a big play.
Yeah, and I think what I like about that is after he doesn't go out of bounds, but after he makes that first move, he's covering the football up with 2 hands, knowing he's going to take a hit.
22 yards, Luke to Jake. Here's another one out to Jake Gebhardt. And Hillsboro should have got caught with too many people on the field. Now the flag comes.
Yeah, because the play was over and they were subbing in, and the player still wasn't off the field yet. And I think the White Hat may be counting how many's out there right now just to make sure. But, yeah, they were definitely running somebody in late and off late, so I think that's exactly what you're going to get.
The play went for just 2 yards. But it will be waved off, and it'll be a 5-yard penalty against Hillsboro and move the football now to the 13-yard line. First down for southeast of Saline. Landon Allen in tight. Friesen directly behind Gebhardt in the pistol. Here's the give to Nate Friesen. Finds a hole on the left-hand side, now bangs it down inside around the 5-yard line. They're going to say he's down at the 6, and that is a gain of 7.
Is that back-to-back rushing 200-yard rushers for Southeast of Saline, Luke and Friesen, or was it?
Just that happened 2 games ago. Last week it was just Luke. Here's Friesen. He's going through the middle, linebacker level, across the goal line, and a touchdown. Nate Friesen gets in from 6 yards away. First touchdown of the night for Nathan Friesen, and it is the 4th rushing touchdown of the night for Southeast of Saline.
Nate Friesen's 9th rushing touchdown on the year is just sniffing the goal line inside the Can-Equip red zone, especially inside the 10. We saw it a lot at Beloit. He had the 3 touchdown runs all under about 5 yards, so a great job inside the 10-yard line.
Extra point pending now, 38-6. Gebhardt fakes it to Murray. Wide open. He had 2 receivers to choose from. Actually, 3 receivers with Thaxton, Allen, and Jake Gebhardt all in the end zone together, and it goes to Jake Gebhardt on the 2-point conversion. Southeast of Saline remains perfect on the 2-point conversions, and now they extend that lead out to 40-6 with 5:46 left to go here on KINA.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
It's a 32-0 run for the Southeast of Saline Trojans. This game was once 8-6. All the way back, even at the 2-minute mark, left to go in the first half. And since then, Southeast of Saline has posted 32 unanswered points. Here's the kick by Wyatt Boyd. Just going to draw the return man all the way back to about the 10-yard line and then brought out by Nicholas Smith out to about the 30-yard line. Danny Kerr on the tackle there for the Trojans. Big run here by Southeast. Now their defense will come on the field and try to close it out. Keep it tuned here in postgame. We'll hear from head coach Mitch Gebhardt. We will also have a few scores for you. Have a Vernon Jewelers Gym of the Game, an Everhart Precision Ag Pass of the Game, and also turn the corner and start looking ahead to next week. It'll be week 7 already of high school football. From the 21, here come the Hillsboro Trojans. Southeast of Saline bouncing around up front. Bolt back to pass. Tries to strong arm one out here to the left. Nearly intercepted as Wyatt Boyd came in and tried to close that gap. But the receiver did a really good job catching that football. That's Tyson Plinert for a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, he did a great job right there coming back to the football, because I think if he doesn't, that pass is picked off.
Plinert's second catch of the night, 19 yards. Moves the football for Hillsboro out to the 36-yard line.
5-yard gain brings up 2nd and 5.
2 wide receivers on each side. Bolt back to pass, under heat, strong arm one's in the middle of the field. It pops up. Cameron Whitty with the pick at the 50-yard line. Cameron Whitty comes up with an interception. That's the 2nd of the night for Southeast of Saline. Cameron Whitty had a gift. We've seen a couple of those pop up for Hillsboro's defense. Southeast got one there.
Yeah, and finally a ball bounces Southeast way on a tip deflection, and they were able to come down with that one. A great job by Cameron Whitty to secure that.
So Jake Gebhardt, Cameron Whitty, both now with interceptions. And the Southeast offense out onto the field. Daniel Kerr will take over the control board as he will be in at quarterback. 4:56 left to go. 40-6, Southeast of Saline. They'll take over at midfield at the 50. Here's Kerr. Fakes it to Friesen. Now he's going to surge ahead. Has 5 yards, 10 yards. Look out, Daniel Kerr. One guy to beat, and he's going to be drugged down at the 28-yard line. 22 yards for Danny Kerr.
And he ran through about 3 Hillsboro Trojans right there. And we've seen Danny Kerr come in at quarterback, and I mean, he plays quarterback more like a running back when he takes off.
Got a bunch of clean jerseys out there now for the Southeast Trojans. Whitty out there as a receiver on the right-hand side. Evan Watkins is in there. Tucker Thaxton stays. Wyatt Boyd also at a receiver. Friesen stays as the tailback with Daniel Kerr taking over at quarterback. Here's a penalty procedure-wise against Southeast of Saline. That'll back the Trojans up 5, back to the 34-yard line where it's 1st and 15. 3 receivers to the left. Whitty a single to the right-hand side. Kerr gives it to Friesen. Friesen trying to stretch it out. He has a couple of Hillsboro Trojans to beat, and he cannot. He'll be taken down at the 35-yard line and lose 2 on the play.
Yeah, one of the few times you see Friesen unable to turn the corner or get positive yards. It looks like there's a Hillsboro Trojan down on the field.
So another timeout here. Let's take it as well. We'll step aside for 30. 4:11 left to play. It's 40-6. Southeast of Saline here on KINA.
We know a thing or two about high-quality, large-volume hay, like the need to cover more acres per hour. That's why we built the new Case IH WD5 Series windrower with the fastest transport speeds in the industry at up to 30 miles per hour. We included a robust drivetrain that excels through hilly areas and took operator comfort to the next level with a suspended cab and airbag rear axle suspension. Raise the bar for productivity and efficiency with the Case IH WD5 Series windrower. Visit Can-Equip in Salina to learn more.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Lincoln Weichert, the injured Hillsboro Trojan on the play. He got off to the sideline. Southeast of Saline now. They second down and 17. Here's Kerr into the second level after the play action fake. He's running now inside the 25. Still on his feet. Still working here. All the way down to the 21-yard line. 15 yards for Daniel Kerr.
And did an excellent job there. Just one little hitch step. Defender was able to grab a hold of him, but Danny Kerr able to drag him for about 7 yards.
Daniel Kerr said, hey, I want in this 100-yard club. That looks like fun. 37 yards on 2 carries so far. He took that football all the way down to the 21-yard line. 3.5 minutes left to go. Southeast of Saline looking for more, leading 40-6. Empty backfield for Kerr. Has Watkins in the slot. Here comes Friesen. End around. They fake it to him. Daniel Kerr back into the second level. Running again. He's inside the 10 all the way down to the 6-yard line. Another gain of 15.
I don't want to call it a dual threat at quarterback, but, man, I would like to see, Nate Friesen runs the ball hard, and I know Danny Kerr is the backup quarterback. Man, he would be fun to get some carries at the running back spot.
We saw him come in and close the game out in a close game against Clay Center last week. Did a good job there. He has this football all the way down to the 6, where it is in the Can-Equip red zone once again. First down and goal from the 6, inside 3 minutes to go. Empty backfield again. Here comes Friesen. Friesen goes running by. Kerr keeps the football now inside the 5 on another carry. That's the shortest one of the night.
Yeah, and every offensive lineman put a hat on a hat and just annihilated the front 5 of the Hillsboro Trojans.
Kerr only got 2 yards on that carry, but he has 4 carries for 54 yards. And another injured Hillsboro player. We'll take another 30. Back with more Trojan football after this. 2:35 left to go. 40-6 Southeast of Saline on KINA.
Citizens State Bank has been serving Kansans for over 100 years. We are a full-service bank that can service your personal, business, and agricultural lending and deposit needs. Citizens State Bank offers 24/7 convenience with mobile deposit, online banking, and our ATM conveniently located in front of the building. Stop by and see our friendly and helpful staff. Citizens State Bank at 600 Maple Street in Gypsum, Kansas. Citizens State Bank and Trust Company is a proud supporter of the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Devanani Russ Kossel back here southeast of Saline's campus. Steve Fritz Field, Southeast really doing a nice job after they had a tough go of it in the first half. Mainly self-inflicted stuff, penalties, turnovers. But since then, Southeast of Saline has turned on the Jets. They are on a 32-0 run after this game was 8-6. Inside 2 minutes left to go in the first half, and they are looking for more here. Second down and goal from the 4-yard line. Daniel Kerr has come in relief of Luke Gebhardt at quarterback. just hear the student body chanting his name right now.
Yeah, then the whole sideline is down here cheering his name as well.
Here's the snap. He's going to follow Evan Watkins in on the left-hand side, and Daniel Kerr across the goal line for a touchdown. 2:25 left to go in this one. Danny Kerr caps the run on this drive. It's 4 yards out for a touchdown.
And that is 5 offensive rushing touchdowns split between quarterback Luke Gebhardt and now quarterback Danny Kerr.
So nice job there by Daniel Kerr taking it all the way down the field.
And it looks like now we're gonna see the get up by 40. We're gonna kick an extra point now.
Wyatt Boyd, chance for him to showcase. He'll kick out of the hold of Daniel Kerr. Mac Chambers, the long snapper. And this one didn't go as planned, and Wyatt Boyd misses his first one. That one never got off the ground, never cleared the offensive line.
Well, it never got put on the tee that they threw out there. It kind of missed and fell off to the side of the tee right there.
So the extra point fails on the kick. Southeast of Saline still up by 40. It's 46-6 with 2:25 left to go. Southeast of Saline Trojan football here on KINA.
Working, cooking, folding, shopping, and wrapping. There's just so much to do for the holidays. Mommy, don't stress. Call Merry Maids. Merry Maids can help. Merry Maids can clean our house top to bottom. Hey, it's Sarah. And Addison. With Merry Maids in Salina and Abilene, the holidays can feel overwhelming. Let Merry Maids take cleaning your house off your holiday to-do list so you can spend more time with people who matter most. Like me.
Find Merry Maids on Facebook or at merrymaids.com.
Merry Maids, relax. It's done.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
6 rushing touchdowns tonight for Southeast of Saline. Up until that kick, they were perfect on their PATs. Also, they are still perfect on 2-point conversion attempts, and the Trojans lead 46-6. Here's the kick, going to be taken by Nicholas Smith back at the 15-yard line. He's going to angle right and get almost to the 30-yard line where Hillsboro will come out on offense once again. Russ, this run here by Southeast of Saline has been incredible here in the second half. They had some adversity in the first half, but able to turn around, clean things up, and second half much, much better.
Yeah, you kind of beat yourself up there in the first half with the turnovers, or I think it's a completely different game with the way your defense is playing. Nonetheless, turnovers are part of the game. You still have to overcome things like that, and the adjustments made at the second half, at a halftime for the second half, seemed to be exactly what this team needed.
Well, the other thing is Southeast of Saline didn't shy away from the pass. There were some bad things happening in the passing game, but they've still thrown 11 passes here. Most of those came in the third quarter. Here is Hillsboro now. They're going to hand it off. It will be Josiah Gooch trying the left-hand side. He'll come across the 30-yard line to the 32-yard line, and he'll have 3.
Yeah, you got wholesale changes now in there for this Southeast Saline defense.
Go through those for me, would you?
I don't have a roster down here. I see Jace Van Amberg out there.
That's why I asked you to do that. You're right. Jace is out there. Wyatt Boyd, Tucker Thaxton. Seen some new guys and some new spots for Southeast of Saline. Second down and 6 here. Bolt back to pass. Here comes Jace Van Amberg, going to hit on the quarterback, and that ball pops up and incomplete. Also out there, Brenton Heller on the hit for Southeast.
I don't know, Devin, after a special teams kickoff, if you've ever watched Jace Van Amberg run over here to the sideline, but he jumps about 3 foot in the air and headbutts whoever is in his way to stay jacked up. Usually it is the younger Gebhardt that is on the receiving end of that early, but he kind of moved out of the way in the second half as he was taking a beating from Jace Van Amberg on the sideline.
Grady Gebhardt right now in there at middle linebacker. He's going to come on the blitz. Bolt's going to hand it off, and a hit by Evan Watkins will keep this run for Hillsboro at a 2-yard gain. Josiah Gooch once again, 4 carries, 5 yards for him off the bench. Gooch coming in relief. He is just a freshman, 5'10", 148 pounds. 4 carries on the season coming into this game. He has 4 tonight to double that.
And I think it's worth mentioning again, the game that Slade Johnson had tonight just absolutely stood out to me the way he played that in position.
He was really good. Southeast defense in general, pretty good. 6 quarterback sacks 2 interceptions. And they weren't taking the ball away from Hillsboro early, but they were throwing Hillsboro for huge losses with those sacks. We'll total all that up in postgame, but first we need a timeout. 44 seconds left to play. Hillsboro wants to talk about it as they burn a timeout here on KINA.
Your hard-working John Deere compact utility tractor deserves to be taken care of. And right now is the best time to get your equipment serviced at Prairie Land Partners. Choose from a silver or gold service package on compact tractors under 100 horsepower. Plus, they are offering hauling specials for your convenience. Visit prairielandpartners.com or call today to get your equipment serviced by a John Deere certified technician.
Delivering the right solution. Prairie Land Partners.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back to round it out here, 44 seconds left to play. Southeast of Saline leads Hillsboro 46-6. Don't forget our scoreboard show coming up at 10 o'clock tonight. It's a full hour from 10 until 11. Scores and game wraps from across the state of Kansas. 4th down and 4 here for Hillsboro. Operating from their own 36-yard line, they line up in the pistol with 2 wide receivers on each side. Dawson Bolt wants to arrow it out, and he overthrows his receiver. Very, very good coverage by Wyatt Boyd and Tucker Thaxton on the number 1 receiver for Hillsboro, Tyson Plintert. That ball incomplete on the ground, and a turnover on downs. Southeast of Saline now will have a chance to end this game.
Yeah, with under 40 seconds left, I think you just take a knee right here and run the clock out. You only have to take a knee once and this game's over.
1st down and 10 for Southeast at the Hillsboro 36-yard line. Trying to get the right personnel on the field now. Grady Gebhardt in there at tailback. He's trying to communicate with Evan Watkins where to be. Gannon Jacobson in there to take a knee to put this one to bed. There is 1 knee, and that should do it. Southeast of Saline defends their home field. A shaky start with 3 first-half turnovers, but the Trojans of Southeast will end up winning by 40, 46-6. As the clock will run out, and that will be the final. Southeast of Saline moves to 6-0 on the season. Hillsboro will drop to 1-5. We'll talk more about it coming up on postgame. It's brought to you by Commercial Tire Centers. Coach Gebhardt, Vernon Jewelers Gym of the Game, and Everhart Precision Pass of the Game. It's all coming up. And final numbers for you as well. Postgame brought to you by Commercial Tire Centers starts now after a Trojan victory, 46-6 over Hillsboro here on KINA.